Good evening. Welcome everybody to another night of NGS action. Tonight we have the Division D. We're calling them the Western Finals. The Western Finals coming up tonight. Little bit of a nuance. We've got the Division West champions going up against the division. I believe it is the Northeast champions. I'll have to double check that. I believe it's the Northeast champions. Which is different because usually the two Eastern teams play, but there are scheduling conflicts, all that other thing. So they're like, you know what? Let's just put the West team and the East, one of the East teams together, and then the winner will just end up playing. So tonight we have Knife Party going up against Almost Legends Ruby, two champions of their respective divisions, gonna be battling it out for the chance to play Bunker Fun Time in the grand finals. My name is Isaacs. Welcome to the channel tonight, everybody. Hope you are ready for some great action. For those who did not watch any of my casts last week, both best of fives I casted last week went all the way to game number 5. And historically, I think I'm set batting like 90% best of fives always go to game 5. So, got my glass of wine ready, got my food ready. We're going to get everybody tight. If you need to go to the bathroom, now is going to be the best time to do it because once this train stops, it ain't stopping until we get to game number 5. But we are still waiting on everybody to get into the lobby. For those who haven't seen or been to my channel and seen a lot of the casts I do for NGS, it's down that direction. Down there, you can follow me right there at that link. You can drop a follow over there. We are getting the last player in the lobby now. So let me throw it on over to the map screen real quick so you guys can see kind of what was going on. We've got Knife Party came in. They called the coin toss, ended up losing it. So Almost Legends Ruby, they're the ones who got to choose what they wanted, and they wanted first hero pick, meaning Knife Party started off our bans. They went ahead and banned out Battlefield of Eternity and Towers of Doom. Meanwhile, Almost Legends Ruby, they banned out Braxis Holdout, and they banned out Tomb of the Spider Queen. And so Knife Party, with the maps that are left, decided to take us on over to Alterac Pass to get this thing kicked off. Big macro map. A lot of macro play can come out. We've seen the rise of Dahaka. Brightwing's also an S tier healer as well. So already these global champions are sitting at the top of their respective positionings. I anticipate seeing some heavy bans or picks coming out of these specific pools, but we're getting the readies coming out from these two teams. I actually had the opportunity to cast Nice Party's Coastal Finals on my channel last weekend. Ended up winning it against I think it was Wiggly League Airlines. Was it? I think it was Wood League Airlines. No, it wasn't Wood League Airlines. Who did they end up winning against? I'll have to go back and watch it. I don't even remember. But we are getting into the draft. There will be a little bit of a black screen, ladies and gentlemen. It will fix itself out. We are getting into draft number 1. While we're waiting for that draft to be pulled up, I gotta go double check who they ended up beating in the finals. Who didn't? Maximum Thrust. How could I forget that? Maximum Thrust. It was such an epic matchup between those two teams. It was a lot of fun. Maximum Thrust. It was back and forth, if I remember right, the whole series. Like one team won game 1, the next team won game 2, the next team won game 3, the next team won game 4. It was so back and forth the entire round. We went for like 3.5 hours with that best of 5 2. It was a marathon, but ultimately Knife Party came away with the win. They are sitting here tonight playing and have their hands tied going up against Almost Legends Ruby. Very tough opponent to go against. Had the opportunity to cast ALR. Well, I cast a lot of ALO last season, but it's part of the same team, same family of teams, organizations. So Almost Legends Ruby having a very, very strong showing. I believe they ended up winning out their respective, let me see, I think it's D Northeast. That they 2-0'd in the quarterfinals, then they 2-0'd the 7 seed in the semifinals, and then they won a 3-0 against Infernal Affairs in the regional Northeast finals. Ended up winning that and getting the opportunity to play in now the Western finals. So that's where we are. Looking at these bans, a Nubarak and Hogger, first bans out for each side. Hogger can be very, very scary on this map, has the ability to just clear camps very quickly, especially your own 3-man. When we're talking about Alterac Pass, there's that 3-man or 3-minion Merc camp that you want to pick up as fast as you can, get on a timer, and Hogger can just bully through that thing really quickly. And so Hogger great ban. And Nubrak getting a lot of value on a map like this. Open map has a lot of opportunities to get the engages you're looking for. The cocoon play with the rewind is definitely something scary. But Lucio and Sylvanas going to be banned out here. Sylvanas having the opportunity to split push, and we're waiting for that first pickup from ALR. We talked about the global play. Brightwing and Dahaka are both available. Junkrat available as well. So I'm curious where we're going to see it. It's going to be Palm Ball picking up the Brightwing. Going to go with the global healer to start things off here. Has the polymorph that can really shut down a lot of hard engage kind of compositions here. That was right. It was Wood League Airlines versus Souls in Slow-Mo. Wood League Airlines came away with that victory. And that was a best of 5 too. So, you know, just expect it. If I'm casting, it's gonna go to best of 5. But we get the Dahaka and the Hanzo coming in by Charlemagne and X War is Fun. X picking up the Hanzo, and I saw this from them last week. The Dahaka play was on point. They actually, these two swapped it at one point. They both played Dahaka last week. I believe Charlemagne went on to a Zul'jin when War is Fun ended up picking up the Dahaka. So they could both play the Dahaka, so we could see a potential for a role swap somewhere down the road. But there is a lot of Dahaka players available on the side of Knife Party, so we know that they have the opportunity to put a lot of priority on that champion. Meanwhile, on the side of ALR, May is being picked up by King, and Conflicted picks up the D.Va. D.Va being able to put down a lot of zoning pressure around those objectives, be able to stall them out. Also has the stall out potential on the boss. We've got a Brightwing and a D.Va, so they have a lot of boss control, boss point control, with the Brightwing being able to polymorph if they decided to spec into the Emerald Winds. Haven't seen it in a while. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I saw it last night in my series, but typically we don't see a ton of Emerald Wind being picked up. Right now, Blink Heal is just in such a good spot that it's typically the more favored ultimate, but if they go the Emerald Wind with the D.Va Bomb, I mean, there's no way you're getting a boss away from that kind of a combination here. Kael'thas being banned out by Knife Party, and Johanna being banned out by ALR. And we're waiting. I anticipate it's going to be the healer and the tank here potentially coming out. They've already got their offlane matchup, so they might want to save that last flex pick. They already see the healer and the tank for the other team, so it makes sense to pick the healer and tank here. But they're going to get the Asmodan instead, go for the flex pick early. Sabing going to pick it up, and he played a very, very mean Asmodan in the last series. And you cannot forget Parabolic's Kharazim. It was banned out against them heavily. Then they let it through, and he just ran it for, I think, like 3 games in a row. And it was definitely something fun to watch. So Kharazim going to get a lot of value into the May, into the D.Va here, but Brightwing going to be there with the polymorph. We talked about that all engage. Kharazim likes to go forward, and Brightwing's going to be right there with the polymorph ready to throw down onto Kharazim, turn him into that nice little squirrel. Jaina and Tracer picked up by Chicken Meow. I love Tracer on Alterac Pass. Has the ability to potentially solo the boss. So you always have to keep your eye on where Tracer is, or at least say, hey, we haven't seen Tracer in like 15 seconds. We may want to see if she's sneaking a boss by herself. The whole rest of the team could be showing on the map, and Tracer could be off soloing a boss. So got to keep that out. Meanwhile, Jaina going to be a lot of burst damage coming down onto this May lockdown target. And Knives going to pick up the ETC to round it out. There is not a lot of interrupts on the side of ALR. They have the May stun eventually. It's got a channel, but it will happen. They also have the Ice Wall or Avalanche. Brightwing's got the polymorph that she can throw down, or the Emerald Wind if she decides to pick it. But Jaina and Tracer both not having any interrupts is going to be pretty critical. So ETC may get a lot more value here with the Mosh. But those are our drafts. I do not have the opportunity to throw it up for any type of like predictions, things like that. But I'm always paying attention to chat over here, watching what you guys got going on. Looks like Harkin's going to be getting a glass of wine and maybe an edible. That's a great combo. But we are getting into this game number 1. I'm going to say adios for this. I'm heading out. You will not see me anymore. We are going to get the game underway, and I will see you guys again on the other side. But looking at it, I mean, the early game, oh man, I got to give my little bit of a nod. I always have to give the nod over to whoever picks up Dahaka, just because he can be so scary to rotate in and give your team that early kill potential. If you're looking for an early objective, an early invade, something like that, they can put Charlemagne down in the bot lane, be able to get in, because ideally that's where you're going to want your offlaner to be if you're on the blue side, with that being the closer side to the camp. And then, you can look for the shenanigan replay after that. You can rotate the 4-man for a camp invade. You can try and just put pressure around that objective. But we'll see how these two teams decide to play it out. But let's get these teams introduced for the first time tonight. On the blue side, we've got Knife Party. We've got Parabolic on the Charisma, Sabing on the Asmodam, Charlemagne on that Dahaka, Knives on the ETC, and War is Fun on the Hanzo. Meanwhile, on the red side, we've got Almost Legends Ruby, also going to be known as ALR. We've got Conflicted on the Diva, Chicken Meow on the Tracer, King on the Mei, Palm Ball on the Brightwing, and Cue Ball on the Jaina. I love we got two balls on one side. Both teams giving the respectful nods over to each other for becoming their own division champions. It takes a lot to be a division champion in NGS. It's a long season, a lot of fighting, a lot of good teams in your division to come out to be the ones on top. Definitely a respected crown to hold. Both these teams now going to be able to throw down and try and get the opportunity to obtain the title of Grand Champion for the entire D division. Hanzo gonna spec into that scattering arrow build, gonna get that simple geometry at level 1. Gonna be able to fight and put down a lot more arrows in these tight-knit quarters. Unfortunately, there aren't a lot in the lanes. The lanes are rather difficult to stack it up, but around the objective, it can be devastating. And he picks up the kill on Tracer. I mean, Tracer was healthy. I don't know how many of those, at least 3 of them hit. But Hanzo comes out with the sneaky W and gets the first blood, going over to Knife Party and immediately heading on over to their camp. Nicely done by the blue side here. I was just gonna start talking through the rest of the talents here. And Charlemagne actually gets a kill up on Jaina in the 1v1. Holy cow. It's like these people are just melting and I'm barely able to jump in there and they're dead. But 2 kills going over for Knife Party right away. Started the series off very, very well. Asmodan gonna be going with the Gluttony build. Gonna be looking to do a lot of that damage in the team fight. At 30 stacks so far. Gonna keep stacking himself up. Dahaka trying to get that essence up for the enhanced agility. At 1 so far. ETC taking the extra healing. The guitar solo. At level 1, so he's gonna have a little bit more self-sustain. But he's not gonna be able to have the potential of healing the rest of the team once level 20 comes online. Meanwhile, on the other side, Jaina stacking up at 4 globes so far. Needs to get the magic number of 20 to be able to get the reduced cooldown and the increased mana regen as well. Tracer getting the punch upgrade at level 1. Brightwing going for the Fate Hyper Shift as expected. Typical pickup from a Brightwing, matching it with the Unstoppable Anomaly at level 4. Getting a little bit of pressure here in the bot lane. First objective is coming online, and it is going to be the side of Knife Party rotating up to the top lane. Charlemagne now going up against the Diva. Hopefully Charlemagne has his internet issues figured out. He was having a little bit of internet troubles in the last matchup. I hope I didn't just jinx it. I may have done that. But pretty standard stuff coming out from both sides. Neither team really putting a lot of emphasis. Actually, ETC going to go out and clear out the minions. He notices that there's a 3-man in the bot lane. He's like, guys, I can get this by myself. ETC can hold it by himself as well. Has enough self-sustain and knockback potential. But Diva going to rotate down as he's just continuing to work on this. The rest of the team from ALR has rotated up. And both teams going to go ahead and start picking up their respective camps here. Knife Party finishing out. They're just slightly eking out the pickup over the side of ALR, but it is going to be very, very close. 2 apiece on the camp counter so far. Only about that half-level lead. Really the only difference so far is going to be those 2 kills. But we got a nice little rotation up, trying to find the D.Va. She has the bomb available. Tracer missing the pulse bomb. But she'll be able to get it back up in no time for this next big fight. Got the 2 offlaners, well, offlaners I should say. The healer and the Dahaka in the bot lane both can teleport themselves into the fight when needed. The macro enthusiasts just hanging out in the bot lane while the rest of the teams are kind of doing the 4-man double soak between bot and mid. And Knives is rotating, looking to find an aggressive slide. Doesn't really want the Mei. Doesn't have the follow-up damage from the Hanzo yet. Asmodee just hasn't stacked up, so they know they're not any slide onto a beefy target. It's just not going to result in a kill. Holding it, finds a Tracer. But ETC taking a fair bit of damage here, has to get himself out, has the extra sustain. D.Va throwing the bomb in, making the knockback. That is going to be danger for ETC. He's going to go down. Parabullet taking quite a big damage from that D.Va explosion there. So that is a good pickup from ALR. Immediately started to pick up the objective, but the interrupts are aplenty here with the Asmodee and Hanzo can just interrupt from range. Jaina getting a little bit low, Asmodee having to back himself away. Health bar is a little bit low. Asmodee continue to just be that annoyance, but may have stepped up one little toenail too far, backing himself away. ETC on his way back. Health bars from the Jaina, has to go get the tap. Tracer in the same boat, has to get back. They do not have their healer here, so they cannot sustain until Brightwing comes in. And Brightwing is trying to stay as long as she can. Dahaka has teleported himself in. Now Brightwing can come join the fray. Going in on the D.Va first, gives her the little bit of the shield. Into the mid lane. Ping's going down. ETC, beautiful polymorph coming in from the Brightwing there to make sure that ETC did not get the slide onto Jaina. Well done. Tip your healer. Buy him a drink. Palm Ball coming in with a huge polymorph there. 10's now online for the side of Knife Party. They have gotten their level 10 combo spike. They got the Dragon Strike mosh pit that they have run in the past. They also got the 7-sided strike from the Karazim, the Titus Sin from the Asmodee, and the Isolation coming in from the Dahaka. 10's now just being picked up for the side of LR. It's Avalanche by the Mei. Bunny Hop from the D.Va. Emerald Wind. It is the Emerald Wind from the Brightwing. And we've got the engage coming down here. The Pulse Bomb goes down on to the Dahaka. 7-sided strike being thrown down, but the Tracer able to get herself away. The interrupt is there, but the isolation is beautiful. They catch the Brightwing. He is silenced. Excuse me. Dragon Strike going down, but the Ring of Frost catches 2 in the backline. Jaina trying to peel. Everybody's so low right on Jaina, but Jaina's going to be the first to go down. Return kill on the Dahaka. The objective is finished, and Tracer running herself away. Karazim says no go. Oh, but Tracer wins the 1v1. D.Va gets knocked out of the mech. So far, it is a 2 for 2 out of that entire bloodbath. But King's not done. He wants more, and he ends up not finding it. But the objective picked up by the blue side here. Knife Party gets the first objective, and are going to go ahead and press it in the mid lane. It was absolutely crazy and chaotic. The find onto Brightwing was critical for Knife Party, finding the healer, getting her locked down so she could not get that Emerald Wind off was absolutely massive. Got the explosion they needed, but then the return fire from the Jaina with the Ring of Frost catching on to 2 really kept that fight a lot more even than it should have been. D.Va going ahead and throws out the bomb. Just a zoning ultimate, had plenty of health left, but wanted to use it just to push everybody off. Tracer throwing down the pulse bomb. 7-sided strike actually being thrown out by the Karazim. Dahaka able to get the kill on the fort in the top lane. Now going to go ahead and try and get the one-on-one kill against the Jaina. Misses the isolation. Jaina gets the slow. Dahaka has no bush, but he gets the tongue. Starts putting down the damage, and Dahaka gets the 1v1 again. He's got to get out. Mei and D.Va are here. The cavalry has arrived, and Mei's like, nope, you're just... Get out of here, Dahaka. Silly Primal Zerg. But that is why we were talking about Dahaka. So scary in that Bruiser matchup. You get a Dahaka on the off lane, and it can just provide so much for your team. Has the ability not only to teleport across the map, but has a pretty strong showing in the 1v1. Can push out lanes as long as his cooldowns are available. Get some good fighting. He had to have gotten the reduced cooldown. Or I just didn't time it right, because man, oh man. Taka just playing that very well in that 1v1. But we do see Knife Party starting to put a little pressure in the mid lane, getting the advantage on the Merc camp. ALR just finishing off their own Merc camp, going to be able to clear it out with the Mei in the mid lane. But this bottom fort is just a sliver of health remaining, just a couple of splinters, and that will go down. Hanzo able to put that last arrow in, securing 2 lanes of minion pressure. And more importantly, it opens up a lot of boss play. Now, we did say, remember, Tracer can potentially solo. Ooh, a big here. Mei gonna go down. The Mosh committed with the Dragon Strike. They committed all their resources to that kill. It's a 27-second kill, but that will open up a potential boss if they decide to do it. Looks like now the call has been made to go top, try for the boss there. And that is where they will head. Knife Party gonna go ahead, pick up this top boss, get some pressure on the opposite side of the objective. Now the thing about bosses on Alterac Pass, you don't necessarily pick up the boss to be like, haha, if you don't address this boss, you're not gonna be able to do anything. No, the boss is typically fairly weak on Alterac Pass, but it does push the lane all the way out. They have max pressure already there, and it gives them, you know, you can't completely ignore it. It will get some structure advantage, especially with how far out that minion wave's pushed. But ALR is saying, nope, we want the boss. It's only at half, and they see everybody coming in. They should just back off here and let everybody on Knife Party start taking the damage. Brightwing gets the teleport in, but gets the pull from Dahaka. Dahaka getting low with the bomb. The stun goes down, and that is going to secure the kill on Dahaka. D.Va just bunny hopping. A huge avalanche going down here. Emerald Wind keeps everybody tight, and that is exactly what ALR wanted. Big plays coming in from the Mei and the D.Va there. Tracer Jaina just able to clean up shop, and that was a massive swing and momentum coming out from ALR. Big fight that they wanted. They were able to back it off exactly how they wanted. Get in a position, I mean, it could have been very hairy for a second there with the Brightwing getting caught out, but she was able to get the phase shift off just in time. And ladies and gentlemen, we do have our first pause. Charlemagne has disconnected, and we are going to take it back over to the map screen. But wow, like, it was all Knife Party this entire game until now. Now we've got ALR punching back blow for blow, and they are ready to bring it out here. They are channeling this first objective, and if they can secure this, they've got a boss in the bot lane. They'll get this objective. You know, we'll see how it ends up playing out. They've got a couple of camps they can potentially pick up as well. Death timers are still about 10 seconds, so they'll get the camp down to about 20 seconds, 15 seconds before the entire side of Knife Party are in position to contest it. But if they can pick this up, that max pressure that Knife Party was able to create is just going to be completely negated. We're going to have a brand new game coming out here. But looking over at some of the chat, looks like everybody's just having a good time, enjoying watching game number 1. We've got Charlemagne back in game, so we should be able to go. I will be able to do the unpausing. And so I am going to do the countdown for this. And we are going to get you guys back in game. So to the bot lane we go, and for some reason it zoomed in my screen. I don't know why that is, but they're able to finish off the boss in the bot lane. Got the readies coming out from both sides. Objective being worked on by both these teams. And now the interrupt coming in from Parabolic. They're able to delay it just a bit, but Brightwing gets caught out. ETC gets a slide, and here comes the Mosh. It is going to be Brightwing going down. Oops. I didn't realize that I had only one team select. I'm like, why is everybody in Fog of War? Where is D.Va? I can't see D.Va. And then I realized I had accidentally turned Fog of War on when I was typing the countdown there. Fat fingers are indeed a thing. But all we need to see now coming out of ALR is just a delay, but they're getting too aggressive. ETC gets a beautiful power slide, finds the Jaina, the Ring of Frost go down, catches onto 3, here it goes. The Avalanche groups them all up, but will they be able to get the kill? They're so low. Brightwing will be back in 6 seconds. Big dunk coming in from the Asmodan. Tracer able to get the recall off in time so that she doesn't go down. But again, Pendulum swinging back in favor of Knife Party. Get a good fight for themselves. Get 3 kills to none. Are going to be able to pick this objective off. And just like that, Knife Party are back in the driver's seat, foot on the gas, ready to try and pick up some keeps here. It's just unfortunate from the Brightwing. She was trying to get in position to get possibly a good Emerald Wind off to delay. Could see the play in the eyes, but ultimately ETC said, I'm having none of those shenanigans. I'm going to slide in, catches the Brightwing out, puts the Mosh down right away, as Brightwing is one of the main Mosh interrupts coming out from ALR, and that really kind of sealed the deal on the Fairy Dragon's fate there. Everyone from Knife Party going to go ahead and try to press in this mid lane, see what they can get in the middle objective, try to find this keep. D.Va's going to clear out stuff in the top lane. Jaina trying to clear out bot, so it is a 3-man defense coming out from ALR. Thankfully, they are in pretty good position. They got a lot of damage down on this objective, so hopefully they can delay it. D.Va now rotating in, as is Jaina. The keep down to about half health so far. Nobody going in. Bunny Hop actually committed. 7-sided strike as well. Karazim does not get stunned. Tracer fairly low, but she says, I'm still wanting to go in. King and Tracer running forward. Jaina's still clearing minions, so Jaina's not even anywhere near this fight. And now everybody's going to be running themselves back. Jaina's like, guys, we got to clean up camp here. We don't want to lose any of our major structures, but here comes Knife Party. They're ready to get right back on it, trying to get this camp picked. D.Va on her way back down, as is Tracer. They do pick up the keep, and ALR gonna say, that's all you're gonna get. We're gonna hold it here. Top keep sitting fairly low. Bottom keep, yeah, it's pretty healthy. They did a pretty good job with the Jaina, making sure, but now we're just waiting for Storm Talents to get online. And this camp is being picked up, and if you're on Knife Party, you're just kind of waiting back, seeing you've got the experience lead, you're just waiting for the 20s to come online. ALR, they really just, they want to find this fight pre-20. They don't have to, because there's really nothing on the map right now. They should be able to get it before the next objective really is something that they need to contest over. It's got about 30 seconds, and then it's a 60-second channel, or 45-second channel, I believe. 50? I don't remember what this late game one is. Math is hard. But that should give them time to soak up all 3 lanes, especially with the mid lane constantly collapsing in their base with the siege minion. And they should be able to pick it up. Now, the top boss is going to be a little bit of a worry, because the top boss, look at Hanzo, just the penetrating arrows are doing so much work with the scatter shot. He's able to just chunk through these things so fast. And ALR gonna give it up. They don't really have the opportunity to contest with being down 20 talent tiers, but they can continue to soak. The boss is gonna put a lot of pressure on this top lane, but it won't end the game if they can get it down to about half health. They can let their core finish it off, try to soak up the remaining 20s, but ooh, interesting. They're gonna go for the second boss pickup here. Okay. That gives ALR a small window to try and grab the objective. They're not going to be able to get it fully channeled, but they're going to go for the second boss play. The Haka going to go ahead and clear the minions out. So they want the triple keep cap, which is important on a map like Alterac Pass, where the boss has armor based on the number of keeps that are still available. So being able to pick out the boss, but even this boss, I mean, look at that. That boss didn't end up getting the keep, so, and they're not going to push with the boss. So they're just going to get the double boss pickup. And ultimately, ALR, if they could see this Asmodee with the Tracer, they're not going to see it. I don't believe they saw where they were on the map, but they're going out aggressively, so potentially they saw one of the rotations. But this is going to give level 20s to ALR, and they're ready for a big fight around this objective. We'll be able to get up there in time. Looking at some of these 20s, Hanzo taking the upgrade to the Dragon Strike. ETC going with the Death Metal, so just wants to die right in the middle of the enemy team there. Karazim getting the level 1 talents. ETC sliding in, just running at the team, but Mei just getting absolutely obliterated. Crowd controlled to all sorts of hell. D.Va trying to get the bomb off. 7-sided strike going down from the Karazim. He's going to take quite a bit of damage, but is able to take through it. ETC getting low. Gets the stun onto the Brightwing. Emerald Wind goes off. Jaina trying to find the ETC in the back, but Karazim making sure that he stays alive. Tracer going one-on-one against the Hanzo. Gets the recall off. ETC not able to find anybody with the Mosh so far. Now Tracer has to run away. Jaina getting low, going against Karazim. Ring of Frost goes down, and Karazim just jumps right on through it. Picks up the kill onto the Jaina. And then we've got Tracer and Brightwing running back into the core. Tracer, or sorry, it's D.Va. That is D.Va, not Tracer. Tracer is down here, but Tracer's coming in. They look so similar. I apologize. But it is the 5-on-3. It's going to take a pretty heroic defense. There is no armor left on the boss, so the boss will shred, and the boss is continuing to melt. GG, gents, coming out from Cue Ball. Game number 1 looking like it's going to go on over to Knife Party, taking off with the 1-0 victory. Pick the map, win the map. Love those strategies coming out from teams. But Knife Party off to the early 1-0. And aside from that one hiccup in the mid game, very, very good starting, showing coming out from Knife Party. They had the Dahaka rotating in as they wanted, was able to get the tongues off. Dahaka also got 2 1v1 kills, which absolutely the team's always like, that helps so much. Asmodan was able to get himself stacked up quite high. Hanzo was just putting out so much damage in the late game with those penetrating arrows. The Mei Tracer, I could see what they were trying to do is get everybody bundled up together, get the Ring of Frost combo on top of the Mei Avalanche, and then just blow it up with the Tracer and the D.Va. But ultimately just couldn't find the entire combo, get it all on the same page like they wanted to. The pieces were there, but they just couldn't quite put the puzzle together, kind of deal. Damage pretty, moderate. I wouldn't say low, but it's not necessarily the numbers we could expect out of an Alterac. Not a ton of fighting, a lot of self-control from these two teams. Hanzo leading with 42k, and then Tracer taking it with 38k from the side of ALR. Healing numbers, Kerazim pumping out 67k in healing to the 45k in Brightwing. Big numbers there. Look at the soak coming out. It was pretty much even Steven from the D.Va and the Dahaka. Brightwing was matched up against the Dahaka for a good chunk of that, but throwing it over to the talents, looking at it, pretty standard coming out of the Hanzo. Takes the 13 for the reduced cooldown on the mount, etc. I remember seeing Knives run this last week. I did want to ask him about it, and I never did. Encore makes sense with the Mosh for sure. I like the imposing presence into a Tracer. You got to see one person that's trying to dive in. You're just like, I want to slow them down and get the attack speed, at reduced. But I typically see it more into like a Cassia or something like that, since Tracers rounds are a little like wonky. But going with the Echo Pedal, I'm just curious with the Echo Pedal, getting that AoE damage. I gotta find out why we go the Echo Pedal. I used to run it, and then I just don't feel it's as valuable, so I don't know. But it's definitely working. It worked for him last week, getting just a little extra AoE, maybe to help like set up Asmodan for some more minion clears, or help with like the camp on Alterac Pass. But pretty standard out of Asmodan, Dahaka here. Kerazim, this is just a fun build. I don't know enough about Kerazim. I know a lot of people are talking about the Kerazim build. Pretty standard coming out of the Mei, trying to blind as much as she can. Went they upgraded with the big one. Try to get as many blinds. There's really only Hanzo that you're worried about the auto attacks, and Hanzo built into the W, so he's really not auto attacking too terribly much there. Jaina, that's as standard comes right now for Jaina. Tracer standard, Brightwing pretty standard, except for the Emerald Wind. Like I said, I anticipated that we may have seen an Emerald Wind, but Blink Heal is typically the pickup, and had this been a Blink Heal, this would be very standard, and very standard for the D.Va as well. But that is it for game number 1. These teams, oops, sorry, hit the wrong button, pulled up the chat. These teams are waiting to get game number 2 underway, so I'm going to throw it over to a quick commercial break, and we'll be back ready to go with game number 2. Don't go anywhere.
I shall be your shield.
Blessing upon friends!
Hell, it's about damn time.
We are steadfast in the face of peril.
Don't underestimate a Nephilim.
Stormwind honors those who serve.
This is only the beginning of our journey.
My wrath shall not be quenched.
Your deeds bring honor to us all.
By steel or fang, we will prevail.
Not even death can save you from me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. Welcome back. We're getting everybody set up for game number 2 here. I'm trying to pull up. We're going to Infernal Shrine, so I need to get that set up, but I'm trying to figure out which team is the one that picked it up. Oh, it is ALR. So ALR, they got the pick between first hero pick and first map pick since they were the losers in game number 1. They elected to go with map pick, sending us on over to Infernal Shrines, like one of the penultimate classic Heroes of the Storm competitive maps that we typically see. So going to be a lot of fun. Love this map. Love casting this map. It's going to be really curious to see how they draft because honestly, the draft they had last game I think works really well on Infernal Shrines, like the Mei, the Diva, the Jaina. Maybe not the Tracer, maybe flip off the Tracer, but the Brightwing. So like 4 of the 5 do really, really well on Infernal Shrines as well. So I'm really curious if they're going to just kind of run this thing back, say, you know what, we tried it on Altaric Pass, it didn't work out for us, so maybe we'll try it again here on Infernal Shrines, and maybe it'll work this time, you know, kind of deal, because it's a very good composition for this map. Meanwhile, Knife Party, I don't expect them to change a thing. They've done their homework, they've done their scouting, they've made sure that they have a game plan coming into this series, and when you win like that in game number 1, you're like, we're going to run the same thing back. We know what we want to do, we know how we want to do it, and we are going to try it again. So we'll see if either of these teams make any changes. You know, it's kind of on ALR to make some modifications in the draft, but whether they will or not is yet to be seen. Still anticipate that you know, the Hogger gets kind of prioritized here. Typically don't want to see him coming out on a map like Infernal Shrines where he could just cause a ton of chaos. The Johanna was banned in game 1. Anticipate that banned again. Anubrak, again, another good champion. It's got to be a respect ban going on over to King, I believe. The tank main coming out of ALR. When you're putting that much emphasis on a first ban Anubarak, it's got to be just a nod, tip your cap over to whoever plays Anubarak on the side of ALR. But Hogger gonna get banned out here from ALR, so same bans, Anubarak Sylvanas coming out from the side of Knife Party. Hogger, first ban coming in from Almost Legends Ruby, and we'll see if they keep it the same way. What did they ban second? Was it Healer? Was it Pasukov? What did they ban? I know Johanna was their third ban. Oh, it was Lucio. There it is. That was exactly what it was. Same bans coming out for both teams. So neither team wanted to change anything up yet. Gonna keep the same bans going. And ALR, like I said, they didn't play bad. They got 2 kills on them early, and so they had to kind of just play from the back foot, you know, kind of deal the rest of that game. They're trying to get themselves back in it, and they did at one point get themselves back in it. So I fully anticipate like a very similar thing, but they're actually going to steal the Asmodan. They give Charlemagne a Dahaka again, but they take the Asmodan away and said, we're going to run it this time. And we're waiting to see what I anticipate the Mei again. I would either the Mei or the Diva again. Oh, they're going to take the Hanzo. They're going to take both Assassins. They're going to be like, you know, I like that Assassin combination, that Hanzo Asmodan. We like it so much, we're going to take it. We're going to run it. Wow. Okay. So what do we see coming out in response from Knife Party here? Do they start stealing? Do they take the Mei? Do they take... Oh, look at this! Do they take the Diva too? Oh, no, they don't. They have the Haka. Do they take the Brightwing? That'd be a steal away. No. Parable looks like Brightwing. I got the Monk. I'm gonna run Karazim all day until they ban it. So Knives taking the Mei away and Parabolic jumping in on the Karazim. So similar pickups, you know, 2 of the 3 the same, and then I mean, all 5 of these champions were in the last game. They were just on a different mix. So we've got 5 of the same champions being picked up so far. So neither team really being like, you know what, we got to make changes from the last game. All the champions can come back and play again on the Nexus round 2. Tassadar going to be banned out here instead of the Johanna since the tank was already picked up. But the Diva going to be banned out by Knife Party. They don't want to see her coming out onto a map like Infernal Shrines where Diva gets a lot of value on Infernal Shrines. Now, do they play Malthael is the question. That's where I'm really curious if we could potentially see the Malthael pick up into the Mei Dahaka front line. 'Cause 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 front line But it's going to be Sonya instead by Conflicted. So more of a skill matchup. They both are going to have sustain. So they're both going to probably just like sustain out the fight. But Palm Ball going to pick up the Anduin. Haven't picked out who they're going to use to deliver that bomb with. They could put the Leap Sonya, the bomb on the Leap Sonya, have her jump into the backline and explode that light bomb all over everyone. But we're waiting to see. We need 2 assassins here, or at least 1 assassin and a flex. Could be a second bruiser. It's going to be 2 assassins, and it's going to be Orphea and Tychus picked up by War is Fun and Sabing. Tychus is going to be able to shred through any big health healers. Do they take the ETC? Do they like the ETC again? Like, you know, the ETC was played well by Knives. Does King say, you know what, I'm going to run it? Ooh, going to go with Muradin. Okay. Not typically see I don't typically see a ton of Muradin on Infernal Shrines because it's a lot harder for him to land his Q, his stun, around the objective with all those minions being in the way. And it's like, stupid. It's like Stitches. It's like, I can't get my Q off. Stitches can't get the hook. But Muradin definitely has the I want to jump in potential with the Sonya. They just have to be very careful they don't dive in too heavy and then just leave their backline, Asmodan and Hanzo, to fend for themselves against this hungry Dahaka. Because we know Charlemagne's going to be just burrowing in, trying to get to the backline and get after this Asmodan and Hanzo. So there's going to have to be some coordination. Sonya only knows one way, and that's forward. So we're going to have to watch the Muradin and see how King decides to play this one out in some of these bigger team fights. But there's your drafts. I'm going to take off here. I'll see you guys in the game. And we'll get game number 2 underway of these Western Finals, Div D Western Finals. Anyone, remember to ban Hogger ALR? They did. They're not going to forget. First ban coming in for them every single game so far. Woo, we're going for a ride. Look at that. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get these teams introduced for the second time tonight. On the blue side, we've got Knife Party. We've got War is Fun on the Tychus. We got Parabolic taunting, throwing down the flare on the Karazim. We got Sabing on the Orphea, Knives on that Mei, and we got Charlemagne on the Dahaka. Meanwhile, on the red side, we've got Almost Legends Ruby. We got Palm Ball on the Anduin, Chicken Meow on the Hanzo, Cue Ball on the Asmodan, King on the Muradin, and up in the top lane, we've got Conflicted on the Sonya. To the mid lane we go. Some stacking quests coming out from both sides. Gluttony picked up by Asmodan yet again. Gonna see him looking for those stacks, getting the team fight going. Muradin getting the increase armor. Or no, sorry, the dwarf block, yeah. The increased armor. Sorry, I was like, I for a second there I was like, wait, what did he pick up? And then I thought it was talking about block from the Sonya. Sonya actually picking up the block. Both of these teams gonna fight it out. Hanzo actually going for the auto attack quest to start off. It's gonna be more of an auto attack based Hanzo, not the W build that we saw coming out from War is Fun the last game. Both these, big stun going down to the Hanzo. That resets the quest, and Orphea gets the kill. First blood going over again to Knife Party here in game number 2, and they're gonna go ahead and try and scoot down and pick up this camp in the bot lane. Tychus actually does pick up that increased attack range at level 1, so he's just trying to play a little bit safer, knowing that the Sonya is gonna try and leap in, knowing that there's a Muradin there as well. Wants to be able to just sit back, attack from a little bit safer range instead of going heavy and trying to, you know, go the grenade build and try and poke into the Asmodan and the Hanzo. Instead, just going to be like, you know what, I'm going to play this a little bit on the safe side, give myself some attack range. I anticipate he's going to just fully commit to that Tychus attack build. But we got an invade potential set up here. Anduin throwing down the root, doesn't find it. Oh, a big dunk grenade come in from Tychus, and that is 2 kills so far coming in from the side of Knife Party. They're not done. They get the camp steal. King getting very low, 20 health, but he's, Orphea, no, doesn't find it. Anduin trying to get the Yeet of Faith onto Sonya, but Sonya gets blown up mid-air, and that is going to be 2 more kills, and Knife Party are just using this momentum to continue to snowball their way here in game number 2, picking up all 3 camps in the bot lane. Beautiful invade coming in there. And continuing to press out their advantage in the mid. See if they can potentially pick up this health fountain. Good stun coming in from the Murden onto the Kharazim, but Kharazim able to just dash himself to safety here. Asmodan continues to stack up at 84, so we'll have to watch Q-Ball. Q-Ball is doing a very good job at stacking himself up so far. King just bounces himself over the wall, throws out the stun onto the Tychus. Asmodan up to 96 stacks. That is very good for 2.5 minutes into this game. So Asmodan gonna be able to make his way to 400 that much faster. And really start to become a terror in these prolonged team fights. Tychus went in the rhythm. Oh my goodness, Tychus went in the rhythm. I did not expect that at all, but he just wants to be able to continue to hold that minigun down, get the Murden, get the Sonya. So he's got the ability to just have the increased auto attack range, wait for the Sonya and the Murden to come in the back, and then just minigun for as long as he possibly can. Big stun coming in from the Mei onto King. King gets pulled away. So far it is 33-4, and there's no way that Knife Party is not getting this first objective. The Arcade Punisher gonna go over to Knife Party, and they're gonna go ahead and try and push out this mid lane. Now the good news for ALR, the first objective typically isn't the most worrisome, but their wall is already dead, so they lose two towers hitting the boss as well. They need to pull it past and pull it back to the second keep. Murden able, or to the second fort. And there they go, they got it back. Exactly where they wanted it to be. Now it should just continue on forward. They will lose a majority of this fort. It looks like they're gonna lose the whole fort. They're all committing back onto the Punisher, so it will be the fort going away, which is a big pickup for Knife Party. If you can get the first fort with the first objective, you are having a very good start to Infernal Shrines. Usually we just see the front wall going down, and that is realistically all you typically expect on a map like this. So good start coming out from Knife Party, but ALR, this is far from over. We got plenty of time to get ourselves back into this game. It's just one fort. Gonna give you a little bit of passive soaking pressure in the mid lane. And Asmodan is well on his way. He's found the fast track to 400. Look at these stacks coming out of Asmodan. 194. He just hit another 4-man queue. Asmodan is cooking with gas here and trying to get himself all the way up to that magical number 400. Hanzo up to 6 auto attacks so far, continuing to try and stack himself up. Needs to get to 12. Doesn't want it to get reset. Sonya and Dahaka just going to be double soaking. They're going to just be going back and forth, so realistically the 4-man's where we're going to keep it at. That's where all the action's going to be. We'll keep our eye on to see if there's any cheeky rotations. But Dahaka's got to be a little bit careful. Murden gets to jump in. The slow, does he have the stun? The stun, Anduin's actually misses. I think Anduin anticipated the Murden stun to miss, and so it was just like, you know what, I'll get the stun on Dahaka, and then Murden hit the stun, and Anduin's just like, wait a minute. That hit his nose. Come on now. Both teams gonna go ahead and pick up their respective camps, but the blue team able to pick up the Bruiser camp up in the top lane. Big pickup there. And the fight's gonna be over the bottom now. Charlemagne gets rooted out here, gets the burrow underneath. The 10s are picked up by the side of Knife Party, and so ALR just back themselves out. We see Tychus already popping the Odin. There's the Ice Wall from the Mei. The pings are going down like crazy. The Blizzard's down. She's trying to get in. The Yeet of Faith onto the Asmodan. He is going to get a 5-man right there. Murden goes down. The 7-sided strike committed by the Kharazim. The W didn't get as many bounces as I thought it would there. It looked like it was going to bounce really well. Then it kind of just like was like, wait, what happened? But Asmodan up to 290. Look at Asmodan go. 290 on the stat counter. And Asmodan is going to be scary. Actually, Sonya, important on the 10s from ALR. They just picked him up. Tied us in by the Asmodan. It is the Avatar by the Murden, but it's the Wrath of the Berserker from the Sonya. So just going to commit to more the team fight. Just wants to be a brawler. Get into somebody's face and just stick on them like glue. Hanzo going with the Dragon Arrow, not the Dragon Strike that we saw in the last game, and it is the Light Bomb by the Anduin. We saw pretty much all the... Oh, a big stun down onto the Mei. The passive is popped. She has no ability to skate away, but big stun. Sonya is here. Light bomb going down to Sonya. They find that Tychus going down. Charlemagne is here on the Dahaka, but does not land the tongue. So it's a good pickup by ALR, and they are getting themselves back in this game right when the shrine comes online. And it is Tychus. He's gonna have to run back, so they can get a very, very healthy lead on this Mortar Punisher objective here. Both these teams just trying to kind of scrap it out. Knife Party look like they're still willing to fight over this, so waiting for Tychus to come back. We're already at 23. Sonya just, you know, this is where Sonya shines. Being able to spin around a, you know, a Mortal or a Punisher objective and pick up camps and also do damage. That Punisher is picked up super quick. And it's going to be the 4-man push in the bot lane. Sonya going to go to the mid lane, Dahaka to the top. So it's a 4-on-4. Mei timing that perfectly and also gets the block on the stun from Anduin there. So this Mortar Punisher is just getting absolutely melted. Asmodan starting to chunk with some of those Qs, but this is more realistic of what you expect of a Punisher. But Mei throws out the Ice Wall. Tychus very low in the Odin there. Gets himself back. Charlemagne is here. Throws down the Isolation, but Anduin able to get the root off. Anduin does not know where he's going to go because he is blind. But that was a beautiful Dragon Arrow with the Asmodan Q on top of it. Asmodan at 374 stack. He is almost there. So that 400 pre-10. That'd be a pretty big pickup from the Asmodan. Has the Titus in to go with it as well, so he's going to be able to get himself stacked up and start really chunking people down with these Qs. Sonya just picking up the camp for the red side, but it's pretty even, pretty close back and forth. You know, there's a level difference, and a majority of that could be attributed to the early mercenary camps. I mean, it's still a triple blue mercenary camp, so the mercenary camps are definitely favoring the side of Knife Party. Actually, we can look. Yeah, it's pretty much a 1300 level or experience lead with the mercenaries, and then the kills that they're able to get heroes advantage. And that's it. That's the big difference between the game right now. Actually, it looked like a little bit of the minions were going over to ALR. It is. So Sonya able to actually get a little bit of better soak, which we may, you know, typically expect with Dahaka trying to global in and try to find the 5v4. But the siege is on in the bot lane. Asmodan rotating himself down. Does have 400 stacks completed now, so those Qs are really going to start chunking. Mei not ready to finish. There's another 3-man Dragon Arrow, but unfortunately it's a short range. The light bomb goes off, doesn't find anyone, but Sonya lands the long range spear. Tychus getting very low. Murden right in his face, but the silence goes down and Tychus is able to get away. The yeet goes down. Asmodan able to dunk, and there's so many people all grouped together. Asmodan just doesn't have the cooldown quite yet. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far, Tychus for Sonya. Murden is going to be able to heal himself up with the passive. And Hanzo just trying to get some vision for his team. So far, ALR just getting the trades. Trying to get to those 20s, where Asmodan will get the increased damage. I mean, if ALR can keep it this close, I definitely think they have a shot in this late game to start coming away with these fights, start taking these fights, you know, start to see them even out more and more as the game develops. As long as they sit patiently and let Asmodan do his thing. Sonya hasn't been too terribly aggressive, so we will potentially be able to see them scale themselves into the late game. But first, they've got to get themselves on 16 talent tiers. Find the soak somewhere before this objective. It is going to be the Frozen Punisher, and this is a very, very big Punisher for both sides here. Frozen Punisher having the ability to turn off structures. Asmodan coming in says, I want a couple of those. It's just the poke, and I like the patience coming out of ALR so far. I'd like to see them continue this until we get up to about 25, 30 minions picked up, and then can start pressing, but Murden jumps himself in. That Dragon Arrow goes down. They find the Kerosene, but that is all. Knives getting fairly low on the Mei. Pops the passive. The Eternal Feast goes down, but doesn't connect. Huge Ice Wall coming out. Catches two. Hanzo having to get himself away. Sonya right in the fray, trying to body block for her team, and everybody backing off, but Tychus is able to just sit in the back there and pick up all these minions, and so the Frozen Punisher is just picked up by the side of Knife Party, and they're going to go ahead and push in this mid lane with this Punisher. Asmodan trying to get a little bit more damage. Looks like the team actually may rotate bot? No, okay, they're rotating, but they're just trying to be like, hey, is anybody going to this bush? They need to pop this Punisher over. Murden throws the Stormbolt out and just hops away. Beautifully done by Murden there. Punisher only turning off the keep so far, and the damage returning right back on to the Punisher. Let's see if he can get a second stun coming out. It is going to be the Asmodan that gets stunned out here. Pull it back to the core. That's exactly what you want to have done. The Punisher is down. The re-engage is here. It's right under the fort like they wanted. Mei going to be the one taking all the damage. Another stun, and so far it is a 1-for-0 in favor of ALR. And that is where they're going to end, but they're back within a full level. Actually, Sonya's not done. Sonya wants more. Pings are going down. There's no way that Knife Party starts this camp. Okay. I was like, no. You got people on your tail. There's no way you're going to try and get this camp. ALR have finally said, you know what? We're going to get some camps here. Enough with your invade shenaniganry. We're going to take yours. We're going to now start painting the map red. And Knife Party just going to kind of rotate up, hold on, wait for Mei to get back online, and look. Probably just to soak up to 20s at this point. Both teams probably going to be content to soak up to their 20s. These two, look at these minions. They're just having a ball. Just throwing spears at the wall. Nobody doing anything to them. Now they're going to start getting shot at, but fort for fort trade so far. Got the Bruiser Camp Steel coming out from Knife Party up in the top lane. ALR just going to continue to rotate themselves around. Both teams just passing by, waving at each other, high fives. Hanzo now has the piercing arrow, so he's going to be able to do a bit more damage. Interesting. He went the redemption at 1, which I guess I get. Gets the increased stack speed, but then he did stack into the W at 4 and 7. Went with a typical standard build we like to see, so just isn't going to get the extra arrows. We do see, ooh, Kerosene throwing down a 7-sided strike. It is a pretty short cooldown, only a 50-second cooldown, so he can throw it out kind of willy-nilly and be like, we're not going to fight again probably for another 50 seconds, so why not do a little bit of damage? But ALR says that cooldown, that ultimate's on cooldown. We want to fight. They're rotating themselves in. Still down about 3/4 of a level. So if they're going to find a fight, they got to find it within the next like 20 seconds. Otherwise, the 20 Storm Talent tiers are going to be online for Knife Party. And then ALR are going to have to just back themselves out and passively soak up their 20s as well. The rotation is going up onto the Kerosene. Looks like they're doing the camp invade, but the 20s are online. They've got to say, you know what? We tried. We didn't find it, and they do. Out they go. They immediately start booking it once the 20s. Charlemagne's like, guys, I want to find something. He found Anduin. Anduin's in the wrong zip code here. Stun goes down. The control from the CC is insane. Murden gets interrupted mid-avatar. Does he have the Dwarf Toss available? Blinds go down. Stuns go down. And that is a dead Dwarf. And now it is the entire side of Knife Party saying, you know what? Let's go mid. We've got this already. Now, I do not believe, since Asmodan and Hanzo are alive, I do not believe they can end mid, but darn if they don't. Wow, look at the damage. Never mind. Now they're definitely like, yeah, you know what? We're going to just scoot ourselves away. That was huge damage coming out from the Hanzo and Asmodan combo there. Hanzo kind of just stunned them all there for Asmo, and that is the power that Asmodan has right now with the Tidus in. When he gets those level 20, he will be hurting even more. But they got to get there. They're still just a little bit away, and Dahaka is in the backline, finds the Hanzo, and this is what they didn't want to have happen. Hanzo has the jump, gets the mount, and gets himself away. Dahaka's trying to hunt him down, but Hanzo's able to get himself to safety there. Meanwhile, the rest of Knife Party gonna go ahead and finish off this objective. It is gonna be that Arcane Punisher up in the top lane. Asmodan throwing in a Q for good measure. But it is going to be the defense. The good news, the towers are alive, the structures are healthy, so they should be able to defend this very easily as long as they allow Murden to do his job and pull this Punisher over, which Murden has been able to do all game. Fully expect him to do it here again. He's just got to grab it and pull it on back and then get the second grab to the core. Murden's got the jump, gets stunned, but still excellently done. Pulls the Punisher over. Trying to pull it as far down as they can. Look at the damage going out. Hanzo able to just put that bunch down, but here comes the Ice Wall. They do catch the Murden. That's okay. Murden's the one target that ALR is like, oh my gosh, look at the shred. Never mind, not Murden. Murden's down, but Mei is taking a couple tower shots. She is going to live through that. The Punisher will go down. It is still a 4-man. As long as Hanzo and Asmodan are alive, the defense is a realistic opportunity. Oh my gosh. Asmodan is just hurting. He got his level 20 and he's like, guys, I can do this. Just keep me safe and let me press my Q button. Oh my goodness, it hurts. Let's see if they can staunch the bleeding here. They still got this keep alive, very healthy in the bot lane, so they're gonna give Asmodan the chance to fight in this late game. Only Murden down so far. I tell you what, they get one more Dragon Arrow, Titus in like they just did in that mid defense, and good golly, Miss Molly, this game could flip on its head. But Knife Party, they're doing an excellent job just controlling the map. 9-3 in kills so far. Experience not a huge priority at this point, so they're just trying to make sure that they keep the lanes all pushed out, so that even if they lose a fight, it would be tough for ALR to really do anything. ALR, they're just trying to clean up. Got a rotation down. Defense ping's going down. Murden hasn't seen the Mei yet. You gotta be careful. This is dangerous waters. And ALR are like, you know what? We're not gonna go check any bushes. We're gonna just sit back and wait for the next structure coming online. Murden gets the rewind. Sonya gets just a massive armor spike to help her survive against this Tychus, who is up to 23 on In the Rhythm. So we're both teams gonna be just sitting out and waiting for this next Punisher that will be spawning in the mid lane. This is a big one for ALR. They don't have to force this. Hanzo's got to be careful. They got to watch for the Dahaka. The retreat pings are going down. Anduin able to get the dismount too. Mei wants to go in. She thinks she's got the fight she wants. Hanzo just jumps on over the wall. But this is the last thing on the checklist that ALR needs to get before this next objective. Clear this thing out. And the shrine is now starting to activate. We are at 21 minutes almost. Love these 21-minute Infernal Shrine games. I mean, I think I've casted like 2 30-minute Infernal Shrine games in the last couple, at least this season. So it's not completely out of the woodwork yet, but this is going to be that big old fight. Asmodan gonna just try and get as much potential. Actually, the early arrow coming in from the Hanzo, he just wants to get himself in. They get the double stun. Sonya actually popping Wrath of the Berserker as well, trying to get in there and get some damage to go down. Ice Wall goes down. It catches Anduin, but only Anduin so far. The Blizzard goes down as well. They found the Anduin. They're jumping in. Anduin very low. Puts the Light Bomb on himself. Gets the 3-man stun. Does he have the Q on top of it? So far, Mei goes down. The 7-sided strike by the Kharazim's trying to get out. Murden's trying to hunt him down. Here comes the Q, and they get the kill onto Kharazim. And here comes the Asmodan. Late game Asmodan is starting to become a monster, but it was the big old light bomb somehow, some way. Anduin was able to survive, got the light bomb off, It got the 3-man stun that ultimately allowed Asmodan, Hanzo, and Sonya to just clean up shop. 2 kills going over to the sides of Almost Legends Ruby, but Haka says, I'm going to go ahead and try and find something else on the map to do. Starts pushing out this bot lane, see if he can use the Siege Minion to create some pressure. Meanwhile, the Mortar Punisher going to go ahead and push up this mid lane. Mortar Punisher can be scary for the single target damage it does, but they got to get the lockdown. They have the Murden with the double stun rewind play. So if the Punisher gets a jump, Murden gets his Stormbolt, rewinds Stormbolt, it could allow enough time for those mortars to come down, and it is very, very heavy damage onto a single target. Just look what it can do to those structures when those mortars come out. So we'll see. Gets the Mei. Dragon Arrow committed. Murden jumping in. The unstoppable pop by the Mei, but the damage is too much and Mei goes down. 1 kill so far for Almost Legends Ruby. This Punisher is still very healthy. They're continuing to siege it out here and the keep goes down. Health bars are still pretty good. They've got an Anduin. Anduin can heal this up. The Punisher's gonna jump a second time. Or third time, excuse me. He's already jumped twice. They just gotta make sure that they keep it safe. It is all in at this point. Orphea, the next target, gets hit, gets stunned, goes down. The Punisher, the shield is gone off the core. The Punisher continues to try and zone everybody out. Tahaka gets a grab onto the Asmodan, finds 1 kill so far. The core down to 59%. Ping's going down to the Punisher. Light Bomb onto the Sonya. But ladies and gentlemen, they did it. And Almost Legends Ruby pull it back here in the late game. Game number 2 going over to the red side. And just like that, we are now to a best of 3. I had faith. I said from the beginning, you're going to start seeing, as this game progresses, ALR's combo is going to just come on a little bit more. It's going to start to ramp up. It's going to start to hurt more. And they found it in the late game, found the fight, took the 2 kills, and just ran it all the way back. That was absolutely insane. Well done coming in from ALR. I mean, Knife Party, they had a very strong early game. They got the first, I think, 6 camps in the bot lane and were able to just start creating so much pressure. But ultimately, they were trying to find all these fights in the late game, but ALR just refused to engage them. And the momentum just kind of stalled out there, and ultimately ALR were able to find their way back into it. So you love to see that kind of a game being played out. 2 very different play styles from both these teams so far, each winning 1 apiece. So we're gonna see how this, which one ends up winning it out here. But man, the Asmodan, look at the damage, 85k. Nobody was in the ball. I mean, Hanzo put 62k, but nobody was in the ballpark. Asmodan just running it was 1,000 experience away, 1,300. There we go. That's where I got the 3 from. 1,300 away from getting the triple crown. Insane. Tahaka almost getting the triple crown too. Look at that. But look at the healing. Look at Karazim's healing. Look at Parabolic on Karazim. That is insane. 128k on Karazim. He was healing out of his mind to keep his team alive against the Asmodan. And he did a fantastic job doing so. I mean, they were in it to win it for a majority of that game. Holy cow. There's the talents. Looking at some of these. So Tychus going with the press the advantage and then into the rhythm. So getting the increased minigun range. Taking the Relentless Soldier to get the crowd control, buff. If you get stunned or rooted, you take 30 less damage. And then going with the overkill at 13-16 Odin's. So interesting build. Kind of trying to just adapt it to the team comp that he was going up against. Orphea going heavy into the Q build. Typically we see most Orpheas going for the passive, but Orphea electing to just go heavy into this Q build, maybe trying to just reposition herself to get away from this Murden and Sonya. Heavy Blizzard build by Mei. Dwarf Toss by Murden. It's always a fun build to build on Murden. It's a very aggressive. You just bounce all over the place. It's kind of fun. But yeah, ultimately, I mean, great things. We've got 1 apiece so far. Going to game number 3, it will be up to Knife Party to choose if they want first pick or map pick. But while we wait, I'm going to send it on over to a commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with game number 3 right around the corner. Stay tuned, everyone.
I shall be your shield.
Blessing upon friends!
Hell, it's about damn time.
We are steadfast in the face of peril.
Don't underestimate a Nephilim.
Stormwind honors those who serve.
This is only the beginning of our journey.
My wrath shall not be quenched.
Your deeds bring honor to us all.
By steel or fang, we will prevail.
Not even death can save you from me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are 2 games in. We've got potentially 2 more to go, possibly 3 more to go. We're getting these teams into the lobby, should be going. For those just joining, welcome. You are joining a best of 5 series in the Division D Western Championship. We are going into game number 3 here, and I'm going to send us on over to the map screen so you guys can see exactly what's going to be transpiring here. We are going to Cursed Hollow, and ALR are choosing the map yet again. So far, the team that chose the map won the map. Knife Party elected to get first hero pick. I'm going to let these teams know that I am ready. We have everybody in the lobby. We're just waiting on the readies to come out from both sides. May be getting some bathroom breaks in here, but for those who do not know or have not had the opportunity to get over to my channel, which was on that twitch.tv/isx02 link, I usually go to best of 5s. I have no idea why. Every time I cast a best of 5, at least for the last 2 seasons of NGS, it always goes to game number 5. And it's as close as nails here again, and we may be going to a best of 5 series. So far, we're 1 apiece between these 2 teams. But I really liked, looking at the way this game has transpired. Both teams had their homework done. Both teams decided, you know what, we know what we're gonna do. Didn't change anything from the game 1 to game 2. Just swapped in a couple of heroes here and there, but kept the same bands, kept the same kind of overall strategies as well. And each team won a game. So where we go from here, I don't know, but now we're going back to a bigger map, kind of like we did in game number 1, Altaric Pass, Curse Hollow. They kind of run similarly. There is a big boss on the map. There's a couple of camps to pick up on the map. Everybody goes to the objective, but sometimes the objective's ignored, kind of deal. So we try to find maps that kind of mime each other, it's usually Altaric Pass and Cursed Hollow that seem to be that pairing. And so Knife Party won Altaric Pass, and they had a pretty good macro game in game number 1. We'll see if Knife Party can bring it back here in game number 3 with that macro play. Meanwhile, Almost Legends Ruby, maybe they got something up their sleeve. They're the ones who ended up sending us to this map. They wanted this map for a reason, so maybe they've got something up their sleeve that they're like, I want to take it to Cursed and keep this momentum going on Cursed. What up, Wooter? How you doing? Glad you could make it. Such fun games to watch coming on from Eliel. Absolutely. A lot of fun. Shiggity wiggity. Let's go, ALR. Nice finish for ALR. I missed game number 1. Was it close like that one? It was very close. Knife Party had a very strong early game. ALR had a good fight that got them back on even footing in the mid game, but then Knife Party kind of just found their way back into it. They got like a really good fight right after that one and kind of put their foot on the pedal and held it there throughout the rest of game 1. But ALR found the fights in that late game in game number 2. They found the combination that they wanted. And we do see a change here. So instead of the Lucio, the Dahaka is going to be banned. 3 of the 4 bans were the exact same, Hogger, Nubarak, Sylvanas, but Dahaka being banned out from ALR. They seen Charlemagne twice on the Dahaka and they said, we're done with that. And here we go. Asmodan, first pick. I always love watching these like best of 5s because there's always seems to be this like pent ultimate hero that's put up on a pedestal during these series and the teams just fight over it. And like I've seen it with Dahaka, I've seen it with Brightwing, I've seen it with Junkrat. We saw it the other night with a Johanna. And now tonight we're seeing it with Asmodan. He's been first picked by both sides all 3 games. Sorry, when the team has the opportunity to pick them in the first rotation. The team that picks them, pick them in their first pick opportunity. So Asmodan being just fought back and forth by these 2 teams. And he's won both games. So Asmodan's got a 100% win rate so far. But May and Vala being picked up by King and Chicken Meow, and Knives on the Johanna, War is Fun on the Hanzo. So interesting. We got the Hanzo and Asmodan combo coming back on the side of Knife Party. They ran the Asmodan Hanzo in game number 1 with an ETC. Now they're running it with a Johanna instead. Deathwing ban out here. King got back on his May, and now Chicken Meow got onto the Vala. And Vala, very scary champion, especially shows the Creed. I anticipate that Johanna pickup was because of the Vala. Want to make sure that if the Creed is picked up, that she could just keep that Vala under control with all the blinds. Charmelaine's like, I feel a bit insulted. We got 3 Bruiser bans coming out from Almost Legends Ruby. They're really trying to pinch some pools there. And the Brightwing going to be banned out by the sides of Knife Party. So where do we go? We get a support here. They've got the opportunity to get the off-lane matchup that they want. So I'm anticipating support and flex pick here, whether they go to the mage route or they go with, again, like another bruiser, go like a triple frontline hyper carry Vala. They could absolutely do that. Do like an Ariel and another bruiser and then round it out with a 3rd bruiser or 3rd frontliner. But they're going to pick Kael'thas and Blaze. They're going to leave their support till the very end. Interesting. So Q-Ball going to get the Kael'thas. Conflicted going to pick up the Blaze. So it's a very, very beefy frontline for this Vala and Kael'thas, which is actually good. They see the Hanzo and Asmodan, both champions who don't like to flank very much, so they know if they put those beefy frontliners in front at Asmodan and Hanzo, the Vala can do very good melting through this Leoric and Johanna into the mid and late game. So I like the frontline pickup, but Parabolic, I love the Kharazim. May and Blaze, very, very healthy tanks. Kharazim's going to have a blast trying to shred through that with the 7-sided strike. And Anduin is going to round it out. Palm Ball going to pick that one up. So there you have it. The Leoric is going to be a really interesting flex because if he's the one that can sneak his way on through and get that Entomb down for the Dragon Strike, because we know War is Fun likes the Dragon Strike over the Dragon Arrow, if Leoric can get that Entomb down and put the Dragon Strike on top of it onto the Kael'thas and Vala, I mean, that's the wild card right there. That's what we got to watch for in some of these team fights is watch that slippery little Leoric try to get in there and get that thing down, set up Hanzo, because Hanzo cannot go forward with a Blaze and a May. He has to sit back, and there's got to be that communication going on between Charlemagne and War is Fun to get that combination down. Otherwise, they got to front to back it. And if we're doing a front to back fight, I got to give the nod to ALR with their comp. So that is where we're going to get the assessment done. I will see you guys in there. Game number 3 on its way. And here we go. For the 3rd time tonight, let's get this blue team introduced. On the blue side, we've got Knife Party. We got War is Fun on the Hanzo. We got Parabolic on the Kharazim, Sabing on the Azmodan. Johanna coming in. It is Knives playing Johanna, and in the bot lane, Charlemagne on the Leoric. Meanwhile, on the red side, we've got Almost Legends Ruby. We got Palmball on the Anduin, King on the Mei, Chicken Meow on the Vala, Q-Ball on that Kael'thas, and up in the top lane, we got Conflicted on the Blaze. Into the mid lane we go. It is the Creed by Vala, so I'm curious if Johanna's going to go with the increased blind, and she does at level 1. Has the double blind to try and keep this Vala down, because the longer Vala can stack, and Kharazim's got to make sure he doesn't let her get 4. She's already got 4. The longer this Vala can stack off of heroes, the better it's going to be for ALR. Johanna's job is to find the Vala and just keep her blind as much as she can. Has 2 blinds to allow herself to do just that. Kael'thas going to go for the globes. We got some Hanzo going for the simple geometry yet again. It is a 3rd Gluttony Azmodan being picked up. All Azmodans have been full of gluttony thus far. They just want to be fed. And the scrap going back and forth. Vala just vaulting herself forward, wanting to get some more stacks. Up to 12 so far. We'll keep our eye on that. 40 is the first mile marker we want to see. If she can get the 40 before, you know, I usually say if she can get 40 before 7s, you're doing a really good job on Vala. But Anduin and Kael'thas gonna be chilling down here. In the bot lane, Vala gonna head and picking up a camp and getting the siege camp opposite the objective. So typically we want to see this one. I'm curious if she'll just hold this. Typically we want to see this one held, unless you're gonna potentially set up an invade. So not gonna hold it, gonna pick it up right away. We'll see if they're going to either set up an invade, because they do have a lot of crowd control with the Mei and the Anduin, so they could look to be aggressive with the invade here. Hanzo going to go ahead. Maybe not. Thinks better of it. Kharazim, this is the one that he wants to get. He wants to get this as soon as possible with the Hanzo, because, I mean, with the objective spawning in the top lane, you just want to get this thing pushing. It's not going to get any value on the opposite side of the map, but we got the 3-man pushing the bot lane. Kael'thas almost actually able to get the kill onto the Azmodan. Azmodan has the well available. Did see Vala rotate up, try to get a kill onto the Leoric in the top lane, unable to do so. And just like Azmodan stack count, you know, stack watch, we're always on Azmodan stack watch. We'll be on a Vala stack watch as well. Hanzo, gotta be careful here. Getting very, very low. Anybody could get in here and just pop them. With the amount of burst damage coming out of this Vala and Kael'thas. There is a lot of burst damage coming out on the side of ALR. Anyone shut down the Hanzo with a pyro? Yeah, definitely. I 100% expect this to be a Pyroblast KT. I don't think this is going to be a Phoenix at all. They've got the front line at all already. He just wants to help delete some of these back lines. Get themselves a number advantage. But the first objective online, it is going to be ALR up there. Leoric may try to interrupt this, but ultimately, no, he misses. Swing and a whiff. The mop was not long enough. So it is going to be ALR picking up the first objective. But Azmodan is getting a lot of pressure here in the bot lane, not being addressed. This is good for Knife Party. They want to see this Azmodan just be ignored. He is not going the Greed Azmodan, which is the I want to be ignored Azmodan, but still Azmodan loves to be ignored on any map that he can, because he has a lot of pushing power. But KT going really ham into this fight, gets the gravity lapse. Does he have the flame strike? Doesn't. Ooh, took a lot. Watch out for the Doug coming in from the Azmodan, and he gets himself away. Stat count certainly 42 for the Azmodan. Vala 7s are online. She's at 23, so kind of with the start she had, fell off a little bit. There was no fight over the first objective, so that definitely hampers her ability to stack herself up on heroes. And Knife Party looking like they're content just not fighting as much as they can, not letting Vala get the stacks up until the 10s are online and they have the combo they want. But maybe this might be where we see the first fight. Both 4-mans are in the bot lane. Leoric and Blaze gonna just chill up top. So this might be where Vala starts to get her stacks going. Both teams in position to pick this up. Leoric has rotated himself down. Blaze not quite there. Hanzo gets the interrupt onto the Anduin. Anduin going to try a second channel here. Gravity Lap thrown down onto the Kerosene, but a 3-man condemn coming in from the Johanna. Aswadan gets the Q, but a big lockdown onto the Kerosene. Vala puts down some damage, and Kerosene gonna fall. 1 kill so far for ALR. Blaze putting down the pain onto this Leoric. And ALR just gonna start to push past with this front line they've got. Vala actually gonna be the one to channel this. There's no interrupts available. That means, oh, it was close, Hanzo. But ultimately, Vala able to get that second channel. And now, ALR sitting on Curse Point. I vote for ALR as long as Knife Party doesn't stall the series for 40 minutes again. Not bitter at all. But into Vala able to finish off that camp. We got Knife Party just pushing out the bot lane. So far, back and forth have been these fights, but it's only 1-0 in kills. No bosses being focused by either team quite yet. Tens online now for ALR, being picked up. Avalanche again by the Mei, Bunker by the Blaze, Light Bomb by the Anduin. It is going to be the Rain of Vengeance by the Vala, and Kael'thas holding. Deciding if he wants to go Pyroblast or Phoenix. I anticipate the Pyroblast, but is the Dragon Strike picked up by the Hanzo, the Tomb by the Leoric, the Titan by the Asmodan. Still 3 members are holding onto their ultimates. Mei jumping back, the Dragon Strike goes down, but it doesn't land with the Entomb. The Entomb was perfect, but the Dragon Strike was not quite communicated, although Kael'thas does go down first. It is a good fight. Vala in the backline trying to create as much damage. Kerosene went for the revive instead of the 7-sided strike. So Kerosene changing it up here. Gonna go for the revive. Gonna go for the Divine Palm rather than the 7-sided strike. Johanna did pick up the Blessed Shield. And it is the Pyroblast as anticipated picked up by the Kael'thas. And so I'm gonna have to go back and watch who picked up what ultimates, because I know Kerosene and Kael'thas were both holding their ultimates. And it may have been a game of chicken between the two on who's gonna pick up their ultimate first. Because if KT goes Pyroblast, Kerosene definitely wants the Divine Palm to just revive whoever gets Pyroblasted. Meanwhile, maybe KT was waiting to see if Kerosene picked up the Palm, and that's why he was holding his 10s, to see if he picked up the Palm so that he could then pick Pyroblast. So I'll have to go watch that interaction. Very, very close. But so far, Knife Party gonna get rewarded with a double boss play. Due to the fact that they got the kill, when they get one boss, usually you can go get the other. And it is 1-1 in kills, 12s. It is all even Steven. 2-1 on curse points. The boss is gonna actually finish this off. They left it. They let the boss finish it. Well, the minions will finish it. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But gonna go up and clear the boss up in the top lane. And there it goes. Bottom fort, first to fall. Knife Party in the lead on the fort pickups. And this objective has been channeled. It is 2 apiece. The next curse is going to be won by one of these two teams. Thirteen's around the corner. The Bruiser Camp available for the side of ALR. Siege Camp being picked up by the side of Knife Party. Thirteen's online for the side of Knife Party. ALR still waiting to get theirs online. Each team just playing the macro game for a little bit. The pressure is on. This is going to be a very, very big momentum swing on this map, this next curse. Each team gonna make sure they bring the full 5-man down here for this. They're all fighting mid so far. Ball actually bolting herself away, afraid of the Blessed Shield from Johanna. Ooh, big Rain of Vengeance going down. Look at the damage May getting the knockback. The channel's going off. Pumball gets it, so now the objective has been picked up by ALR. And Vala's in the backline. They're trying to ignore the carry team. He gets the hop over so they don't get the kill. And now Vala's just trying to put down the damage to the backline. Blaze jumping in. Leoric is trying to Wraith Walk himself into this fight. All three are just chilling in the bunker. KT is now here and being like, guys, come out. I'm here. And now they're just all committing, jumping in. Get the Hanzo there. There is no revive available. So first pick up for ALR. The downside is they picked up this objective. Vala's just going ham for this. They picked up this objective. They're going to be able to put the pressure in the bot lane, but actually mid and top are more than likely going to go down because of the pressure that Blue had on the map. So even though I said it was going to be a momentum swinger, the minion waves weren't cleaned out. So this curse is actually going to be a defensive curse coming out of ALR. They did get the one fort, but it's actually going to be Knife Party that gets more structure advantage with the curse so far. It may even out at 2 apiece here, but when you get the curse and it evens out at 2 apiece, that is a defensive curse. So well done by Knife Party on making sure they had the map pressure created. So even if they lost, oh, they found the KT. The leap comes out from the Anduin. Johanna wanting to find this fight, has the Vala, gets the Blessed Shield lockdown. There goes the Dragon Strike. Vala is going to be able to get away. May trying to run to the top, gets the passive pop. Charlemagne in the background. May trying to run to the bunker. The light bomb is in the bunker. The bunker explodes. Everybody fighting. May gets herself out. The root goes down onto the Leoric. And Leoric will end up, ooh, maybe not fall, but big jet propulsion coming in from the Blaze there. Gets a 2-man stun. Johanna pops the Iron Skin. KT trying to get in there. And that may be it. They do get the fort return, so ALR able to get 2 structures. Big difference right now that we're seeing, you know, from last game to this game. Asmodee just not quite as stacked. Ooh, Leoric's got to be very careful here. Can KT get the Pyroblast? Oh, of course he's going to get the Pyroblast. Kaboom. But will they get the return kill? They do not. So now ALR can actually push out this top lane if they want. Defense is coming back in. But 4-2 in kills in favor of ALR. Knife Party, though, are winning the macro game. They've got the pressure created. They've got all 3 forts so far, even though they don't have the curse. So they've actually set themselves up very, very well if they can pick up this next curse. They've got a boss play. Karazim going to go ahead and pick up the siege camp up in the top lane. And really, all it's going to take for Knife Party to, you know, kind of put the nail in the coffin is to get one of these Entomb Dragon Strike combos that we were looking for from the draft. They've got all these tight-knit corridors. They can definitely land it. They got to let Leoric be the one to lead, hold that Dragon Strike until Leoric finds that Entomb. But Leoric cannot do it too early. He's got to wait for the team to be in position. Blaze going to get himself away. There it is, onto the main. The Blaze, that's the one we wanted. Here comes the Dragon Strike, but the bunker is down, meaning everybody stays safe. And now the re-engage is on Blay and Maze. May gets the 2-man avalanche into the backline right next to KT. KT gets the double gravity laps. The light bomb goes down as well. And Vala is just plunking these people away. 2 kills so far for ALR. And now the return is on. Never mind, we're not retreating. We're running at you. KT continue to go forward. Misses the gravity laps there. Gets a bunch of minions, but May gets the stun. It is 3 kills to none. And this is going to set up a lot of boss opportunities. Ball going to go back, pick up the objective, and ALR gets the good fight. They got the 2-man Entomb. They got the combo, but they got the Blaze caught in it, and Blaze just said, bunker's going down. We're going to just sit through this until the Angry Dragons go away. Once the Angry Dragons are gone, we'll come back out and play. Big, big pickup coming in from ALR here. Knife Party. Again, the wild card with Knife Party, they only need 1 objective. They get 1 more curse, and they already have the map pressure. Now, this boss probably won't do too much, but it denies experience, and it gets experience in favor of ALR. It may get a tower, may not even get a tower. Hanzo and Karazim are going to shred through this thing. It is going to allow ALR to get the boss in the top lane. We'll see, does it get the tower? That is the question. Nope, Doesn't get the tower. Gets it about half. But top boss is picked up, and that will get a lot more. That will get probably half of this top fort if the team goes up and defends it. If the team elects to just leave it alone, it will get the entire top fort. Bruiser camp being picked up, and siege camp. That is a very, very big pickup, because this, with this, will allow a lot of push pressure at the bottom if they can stall. And they have very good stall with KT, May, even Blaze with the range WQ. They can stall for a long, long time. And the longer they stall, the more this is going to start to build up and create pressure. So we'll watch with anticipation. Meanwhile, Night Party, they want to engage. They know that the 20s aren't online yet for ALR. They know they're up against a timer, and they know this is their curse point. So they kind of want to find this fight now and swing this game back into their favor. Leoric going in, trying to find a target. Doesn't find one yet. Backs himself, has the Volok. Does he get the Entomb on the Volok? Oh, they found the KT! But he gets yeeted out there. It is going to be the avalanche onto Leoric in the background. Here comes the Dragon Strike. Catches Volok. She's not able to get in. She vaults into the Leoric. And so that is a first pickup coming in for Night Party. Asmodan's finishing off the channel. It's a 1-for-1 trade so far. ALR is going to continue to push in. May trying to get the Johanna down. But here we go again. Defensive curse. Minions are pushing in the mid and the bot lanes. So realistically, top is the only place they can push. Ooh, May's got to be careful. Big damage coming out from Hanzo and Asmodan there. And May actually goes down. So it is ultimately, in the end, a 2-for-2. Best Blaze NA, best May Canada. I absolutely love it. That was an awesome bunker. I'm assuming that was the bunker to just completely negate the Dragon Strike. Of which, yes, it was totally awesome. One of, just, you love seeing Blazes be able to do that. Be like, you know what, I'm gonna push this button and just negate everything you wanted to do. Just the power of the bunker that comes out of Blaze. You know, typically you don't see bunkers coming out in the Storm League, but in competitive play, when the team's all on comms and coordinated, the bunker just has so much more value. But there we go. We've got one curse picked up by each side, and both were defensive curses. However, 20s are online for both sides here. Asmodan getting there. He's at 310, so the stacks are starting to accrue. He's got the full build. He's got the Pride at level 20. Kerazim increased the Revive at level 20. Johanna getting the 5-man Blessed Shield now instead of the 3-man, or the 3 targets, I should say. It is the Silence Entomb, which is actually going to be big because now they can catch the Blaze, and Blaze will not be able to put the bunker out. So this could be a huge momentum swing with that combo that we wanted to see. It is the Dragon Strike upgrade. It is the Entomb upgrade. So now that combo is going to be a lot more deadly. Blaze isn't going to be able to have. He's going to have to be very, very preemptive with his bunkers. Ooh, they found the KT in the bot lane. The shield comes out. And KT able to get away. And Leoric actually went up and fought. So a little miscommunication coming in for Night Party. And Johanna now in the back line. Oh, no. ALR able to find 2 kills just like that. And Hanzo, thankfully, he is able to zone everybody off, gets the mount, and gets himself out of there. But that's a big pickup for ALR. Get 2 kills there. Those are 2 long death timer. Well, 1 long death timer and 1 ghost who can get himself back when needed. Onto the map. New York just kind of, hey, you guys, where are you guys going? Going out for pizza? But the camp, it was sniffed out by ALR, but not in time. She gets the blizzard down. Actually, they got Kerazim. And Kerazim is, oh, he gets the revive on himself, comes up at full health, gets the launch away, but May throws him right into a snowball. The Dragon Strike is actually really big there. They get the Vala. They get the, almost get the KT, not quite get the KT. Leoric's coming in, wants the KT. He's getting all the way to the back line. Anduin Healy coming out. Will they get this KT? The Asmodan. KT at 35. The leap of faith is huge, and Leoric goes down. King gets traded away. It is a 2-for-2 so far. Blaze to follow, but Knife Party come away with the win. KT trying to mount up. Here comes the Dragon Strike again. Will it catch them? The dismount was huge. Anduin trying to heal his little butt off. Somehow is keeping KT alive through all of this. Uh-oh. Oh my god, you're kidding me! That was like the merry band of adventures of KT and Anduin right there. Holy cow, Anduin and KT somehow get away with all of that. But Knife Party, they got the fight, and it all started. I mean, had Karazim not gotten the ultimate off there, that wasn't working out that way. Because everybody stayed to try and kill Karazim, set up the Hanzo Dragon Strike, which got so much value, and ultimately allowed them to come out on top in this fight. And now Knife Party got their foot on the gas in the late game, trying to create a little bit of pressure here. We're now at another 21-minute game with no sign of ending anywhere near. It has just been nothing but back and forth between these two teams all night, and it has been an absolutely entertaining series to watch. Vala is getting very, very scary with these stacks, though. 152 on the Creed. Hanzo throwing out the Dragon Strike. Ooh, Anduin's caught off. He's like, no, this isn't the place I wanted to be. He survived somehow. What the heck, Anduin? You've got to be kidding me. Still alive, and the re-engage is on. Vala gets into the bunker just in time, gets out, but does not die. Hanzo does fall. Blaze, very healthy front line, wants to continue this fight. The rest of the team trying to heal up. Blaze gets a big stun, but the heal, the revive, Anduin gets the, oh, how did that miss? I have no idea. It went right through his body, but that is going to be a second kill. ALR gets 2 kills, and they're gonna continue to press here. Vala starting to get scared. Ooh, vaults forward. Doesn't have the vault to run away. Asmodan, will he be able to get the Q? Oh, it's close, but Anduin, pay your healer, guys. This Anduin is absolutely healing out of his mind, but the boss continue to press in the bot lane and is gonna pick up the keep, so Knife Party get a little bit more macro pressure going their way. The boss is being started by ALR. They know Anduin isn't here. They can see him channeling the objective down below, but Asmodan not in position to poke this one out, so Johanna gonna have to back herself away. Hanzo, no, maybe not. They're going in. Leoric wants to fight this. Blades gets the bunker. Johanna's still on the boss. Boss in vision. Oh, a 3-minute. Here comes Asmodan. Look at it. Asmodan got the call. Rohan has answered, and Asmodan is here. Holy cow. And they get the boss steal. You've got to be kidding me. What is going on? This is insane. 2 kills apiece so far. And the steal is successful. They get the top keep. And the mid keep is starting to fall. Knife Party are refusing to go down this game and just making play after play in the late game. All 3 keeps are down. It was so close a minute and a half ago. All keeps were alive. And now all keeps have fallen, and the core is even falling. Why? We're doing camp. It's at 57%, and this boss is still healthy. But they get the objective. They get the camp at the bot. They're just going to continue to slow play this one. 41% on the core. And these minions have to get answered. And Knife Party, they're just like, you know what? We're going with the 99% play instead of the 75% play. We want to make sure in these Western finals that we get the 2-1. ALR, they've been back against it before this series. Crumbled one time, stood resilient the other, so we'll see which one shows up here. It is 2-2 on Curse. I mean, realistically, the next Curse could win the game. ALR, if they somehow keep these minions out of their base and find a quick fight around this objective, they could potentially get the Curse and win. They have their way. I think it's bot. Yeah, bot lane is set up. A little bit of damage. But Asmodan is fully stacked up now, so Asmodan gonna be throwing down bombs from above. Everybody lining up. This is not where you want to be with a Leoric and a Hanzo on the other team. You gotta get yourself spread out. Leoric is thirsty. Hanzo gets the Dragon Strike down, catches onto 2. Vala. Oh, Vala's caught. Anduin eats her back, and she lives. Oh, and the return is there. The light bomb goes down. It's on King. So far, it is one ultimate burned, 2 people chilling in a bunker. Anduin keeping them both alive. We do have the Vala going down. Anduin gets another yeet. It is 1 for 1 so far. The Pyroblast is going to be able to get this Kerosene. There's no way Kerosene survives this, right? He doesn't have the revive. No way, he lives! Anyway, back to the other part of the fight. We got Leoric and Johanna going in. Leoric will fall, but the core, they got to get this curse quick because the core, the minions are here. The minions have arrived. They got the fight. Night Party wants to stall. Johanna, or sorry, excuse me, May. May is trying to pick it up. Actually put some serious damage down. They could actually just probably give this up and defend the core, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. May is going in. Asmodan going to finish this off because they should be able to finish the core here. The minions are... Ooh, the core is falling. They left the core. 24%. They got to get the minions at the top. 20, 13, 12, 11, 7. 7 is where we're at. Can they keep them away? Asmodan is going to dunk it for the win. Ninth Party coming away with the 2-1. And man, that was absolutely crazy. Cursed Hollow. I mean, what in the world are you doing? That was back and forth, 26 minutes. I mean, holy cow, that was crazy. A lot of fun. ALR leading in kills, but ultimately Knife Party found a way to get themselves back in here in the late game. Hanzo putting out 84k damage. I mean, they finally found the Dragon Strike, you know, combos that they were looking for. They got the one around their bruiser camp that kind of just turned that fight around. That was where kind of like the wind started going out of the sails just a little bit, blowing them off course. And they were able to use that momentum. They found another one with the Leoric Hanzo. Then they got a little chaotic up in the top lane around that boss play. And then they stole the boss, which I was like, what in the world is happening here? We're stealing the boss with the Johanna Leoric. Asmodan's doing his own siege camp. And they stall it out long enough that Asmodan can ride all the way over after picking up the siege camp, get a dunk in, and end up stealing the boss. Like, what in the world? That was crazy. That was awesome. Overall, the healing coming out, more respectable numbers coming out. I mean, Kerosene didn't absolutely go insane with the healing this game like he did in the last game. I have no idea how Parabolic popped off with like 124k healing in that one game. That was nuts. But, I mean, Anduin, Palm Ball, you got to give it up for Palm Ball. Like, Palm Ball did so much in that game to keep ALR, excuse me, in that game. Like, Anduin was playing out of his mind, keeping people alive. It just wasn't enough. They weren't able to get the kills that mattered, and the map pressure eventually just got to be too much. For those wondering, no, it is not a best of 3. It is a best of 5. We are in the Western Finals. That means we are going all the way to potentially a game number 5. Right now, we are sitting on match point. Knife Party, if they win, they will become the Division D Western champions and have the opportunity to play Bunker Fun Time for the grand finals of Division D. But we still have at least one more map to go. Here are the talents for those who love looking at such things. Vala was getting herself really stacked up there. I don't remember what the final number was. I wish they showed the final stack numbers in like the post-game score screen, but they don't. But pretty standard. I mean, most of these teams have been playing these champions throughout the series. We've talked about their builds already. So pretty standard stuff. Looks like most players went back to their typical builds. Anduin, May, Hanzo, Asmodan, Kerosene. Johanna going for just the overall punish build, keeping, you know, Vala under control with the level 1, and then just trying to crowd control everybody, keep them off of the Hanzo and the Asmodan. Very peel build coming out of the Johanna. But that is where we're going to get game number 4 loaded up. I'm going to send it on over to another commercial break. Don't go anywhere.
I shall be your shield.
Blessing upon friends!
about damn time.
We are steadfast in the face of peril.
Don't underestimate a Nephilim.
Stormwind honors those who serve.
This is only the beginning of our journey.
My wrath shall not be quenched.
Your deeds bring honor to us all.
By steel or fang, we will prevail.
Not even death can save you from me.
I shall be your shield.
Blessing upon friends!
Hell, it's about damn time.
We are steadfast in the face of peril.
Don't underestimate a Nephilim.
Stormwind honors those who serve.
This is only the beginning of our journey.
My wrath shall not be quenched.
Your deeds bring honor to us all.
By steel or fang, we will prevail.
Not even death can save you from me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are loading back in to game number 4's lobby. We are heading on over to Volskaya Foundry. Let me get you guys over to the map screen real quick so you can see where we are going. It looks like ALR wanted the opportunity to again get the map pick. So they won the map they wanted, then they lost the map they wanted. So it's so far been Knife Party ALR, Knife Party ALR as well, sorry. Not spoiling anything or anything like that, not trying to predict, but that's how the series has progressed so far. So if the pattern continues, ALR is going to win game number 4. And like I said, historically, I always, for some reason, go to game number 5. So it would be nice if, it didn't. But I'm still sitting, quarter glass of wine left. So I'm ready if it does go to a game number 5. But we're still waiting on one team to get in the lobby. We got one full team getting into the lobby, another team trying to get all the way in. So I'm just going to take this moment to go on ahead, look through chat, see what we've got going on. Looks like we're going to get some questions about best of 3s, best of 5s, which we talked about it. Winner star ALR, you better win this or else. Big call out coming in here from Winter Star. Big hype coming in from Azen72. And that's right, although I'm already super tired, it is way past this old man's bedtime. Dude, it is way past my bedtime, and I am on the West Coast. It's 8:54, and I'm like, I want to be asleep already. I'm pretty sure my 4-year-old is just clocked out on the bed right over there on the other side of that wall. But we are getting everybody into the lobby. And I've got about half bottle of wine. All right, let's go. I've got like an entire cooler downstairs just, ready. But we do have everybody in the lobby now. So we're just waiting for the readies to come out from both sides, and we'll get this draft underway. But looking at how these teams have progressed throughout the series, I mean, the two very big maps, Alterac Pass and Cursed Hollow, Knife Party have definitely shown very strong showings on. Cursed Hollow wasn't as strong as the Alterac Pass, but it was still a pretty good showing. They've definitely shown that they have plans for these big maps. Meanwhile, Infernal Shrine's a little bit smaller, a little bit more team fighting map. ALR had a very good showing in that map, and now we're going to Volskaya Foundry, another very kind of similar size to Infernal Shrines. The thing about Volskaya Foundry, it always goes to the late game. So if you have a late game comp, you feel confident about your team fighting capabilities, and you've got something that we can win if we get late, this is the map to do that on. Because Volskaya Foundry, I cannot remember. It had to have been back in I don't even know, years ago, the last time a Volskaya Foundry map ended before level 20. So we'll see if that happens tonight. If it does, I have no idea what kind of celebration I'm going to do, because I haven't seen it in forever. But going back into the bans, it looks like it is still standard across the board, except here we go. Asmodan, the champion that has been on 100% first pick kind of priority thing, back and forth between these two teams, finally gets banned out here. No more Asmodan on this map. Gonna have to play somebody else. Poor Asmodan's taking a well-deserved rest. He's at 100% win rate on all 3 maps. Oh man, is that really the right competition you want to have? Hanzo being locked in by War is Fun. Going back on Hanzo yet again. I don't know. I'll be curious to see if he goes the W build on this one. Not the best build on Volskaya. Little bit harder to get the value out of the W's, but can be done. But here we go. Cue Ball coming in with the Mephisto. Palm Ball running back that Anduin. Had a very, very strong showing on Anduin in that game number 3. Gonna try and repeat that on game number 4. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Friday night. Work week is over. It's going to be a lot of fun this weekend. Or I guess work week was over for most people already. The long weekend with Veterans Day on Thursday. But Dahaka and May. Charlemagne going right back to that Dahaka, and Knives picking up the May. So the May's been bouncing back and forth too quite a bit. I believe May has been now in all 4 games, and it's been played twice a side in these 4 games. And I don't want to say this because I may be wrong. I think I am wrong. Somebody will have to correct me. I think May has 100% losing, whereas Asmodan has 100% win rate. I think May has lost all 3 maps she's been in. She's been on the losing side of all 3 maps. Not quite sure. That's okay. Knives is about to prove me wrong anyway. It's going to be like, haha, we're going to win with May this time. But there we go. We get the Kerosene ban. So 3 games in a row, Parabolic has played Kerosene. The Kerosene ban is out. And now we'll have to see Parabolic play on something else. Will he play the Lucio? Because the Lucio was being banned out early on by the side of ALR. They were banning out the Lucio quite a bit, so maybe we'll see Parabolic playing that Lucio. Who works? Some people work. I don't, but most people work. Last two picks, or sorry, not last two. Next two picks coming in for ALR, going to be the Gaslow and the ETC. Getting the Rockin' Cow going pairs well, very well with Mephisto, being able to just throw his shade right on top of the Mosh. And so far, got 3 interrupts for the Mosh. Dahaka's got his silence, Hanzo's got the stun, May's got a couple, potentially. It is going to be the Lucio from Parabolic. And the Tassadar picked up by Sabine. Wow, that was like instant lock. Phoenix picked up by Chicken Meow. They had a plan, and this is their plan. ALR said, this is what we want. Now, what kind of Phoenix are we going to get? Are we going to get the Purification Salvo Phoenix with the slow from Mephisto and ETC? Or are we going to get the I just want to planet cracker the crap out of whoever sees ETC lands this Mosh on with the Gaslow? Like, you know, set up the planet cracker going. Gaslow puts his ult down and just pulls them all to the center where the planet cracker is. We'll see if they go for the Wombo, or we'll see if they go for more of just the consistency out of Purification Salvo. Meanwhile, I mean, on Knife Party side, most of this core is similar to what they've run all night. Hanzo, Dahaka, May. They've just got Parabolic and Sabing on 2 different characters. Don't have the Asmodan, don't have the Kharazim, so we'll see if that might be an adjustment that ALR made to potentially send them to a Game 5. But I will see you guys in there. Game number 4 coming right at you. Let's get these two teams introduced. On the blue side, we've got, for the 4th time, Knife Party. We got Charlemagne on the Dahaka. We got War's Fun on the Hanzo. We got Sabing on that Tassadar. We got Knives on the May. And pulling up the rear, we got Parabolic on the Lucio. Meanwhile, on the red side, we've got Almost Legends Ruby. We got Chicken Meow on the Phoenix. We got Conflicted on the Gaslow. King on the ETC. Palm Ball on the Anduin. And Cue Ball on the Mephisto.
3, 2, 1.
To the mid lane we go. Phoenix trying to get those stacks going on the advanced targeting, trying to get that plasma cutter up to 3 rotations instead of 2. Is it 40 or 30? 30 is the stack. I couldn't remember if it was 30 or 40 that he needed. The magic number of hits to get that 3rd rotation out of it. 80 is the end that he's looking for. Usually gets there pretty quick after he gets that 3rd rotation. ETC going with the Pog Rock. Going to be able to get a little bit of self-sustain and get some sustain for his team once he gets to the 20. Hanzo is going to go back to that simple geometry at level 1. Tassadar going with the static charge. And it looks like it's just going to be Phoenix up here so far. The 3-man sitting in the mid lane. Going to try and clear this out quickly and go get their turret camp right away. Try to get ahead on the camp pickups. Trying to set them up for a support camp. Ooh. Don't see this too often. Hanzo picking up the early siege camp. And Lucio going to come over to help. Typically you don't see the siege camp picked up too quickly. Most teams picking it up right around the time the first objective comes on. So definitely curious about the siege camp pickup. Once they see that's picked up, though, ALR, if they get their turret camp in time, know that this isn't being picked up, and they can potentially invade it. And there goes the ping. They know, hey, they picked up their siege camp. Maybe, ooh, mind games. Maybe they're picking it up to be like, hey, either come invade us or go deal with top. Your choice. Pick your poison. And it's going to be ALR going to go up to the top lane. Interesting, interesting. But that is going to give this camp priority if they get the timer. They're not. They look like ALR is picking it up too. Not going to get it on a timer for when that first objective is online. Allow me. It's officially my birthday now. ALR, I expect some B-Day wins. Happy birthday. Happy, happy birthday from all of us to you. That's about all the singing you're going to get out of me on this channel. But back to the action. Eight stacks for the ETC on the Pogrock, 3 on the Plasma Cutter for the Phoenix for the advanced targeting. Bottom lane is kind of just a big ol', you know, bot lane fest. 2 people just smacking each other back and forth. Exchanging blows, but nobody really getting low. Both have sustain. First objective going to be online. Neither team picking up the support camp yet. Mephisto jumping in with a shade, trying to get a lot of damage down onto that Hanzo. My goodness. Big damage coming out of cue ball there. But the channel is going to be started off by Mei. Contest now underway, but neither team wanting to step forward. Both just happy sitting on their own sides. You have a fine pair of pipes? Oh my god. That is not a fine pair of pipes. That is purely the wine. But thank you anyway. I do appreciate it. Tassadar did go up and get the minions in the top. That did give the 7s on over to the side of Knife Party. And now the channel has started up to 20% so far. I'm curious if we'd see the support camp picked up by the side of ALR, but they are not going to. They're electing to come back down and potentially set up a play over this middle objective. Turret already being thrown down by ETC. Another turret thrown down by the Mei. So turrets are down. Items are aplenty here. It is a little bit of chaos, but Conflicted getting a little low, has to sustain. Phoenix having to back off, was going kind of one-on-one with the Hanzo in the backline. Tahaka lands the pull onto the ETC. In he goes, but Anduin yeets him away. Mephisto gets low, but is able to get back. ETC gets a beautiful 2-man power slide. Charlemagne gets stunned out. Mephisto gets 1, 2, and that will be the double kill coming in. And ALR off with a 2-0 lead in kills. Gonna be able to flip this blue box back to red and start their progress going, and immediately head on over to get the camp invade. Tahaka actually coming in. They know he's here. They hear this animation, but Tahaka's like, see ya, I'm out of here, going bot. Not gonna, you know, stick around. We do have this second objective, the siege camp, being picked up by the side of Knife Party. But item advantage is definitely going over in favor of ALR. Get the double turret pickup. So now have both turrets to drop on this next fight. One thrown down by ETC, another thrown down by Phoenix. Get the power slide, but no follow-up is there. He gets the knockback into the turrets. Mei uses the passive, getting fairly low. Mephisto has to get in, and Mei goes down. Mephisto gets the kill, and it is another kill going over to ALR, and they are looking good here in this early game. Got control of this objective, and once they got control, they are not letting go. Anduin getting the heals off. This channel is finishing up, and the first protector gonna come online and be taken probably to the mid lane and then to the top lane. We'll see. That's the standard. But we haven't seen standard stuff for either of these teams, and it's just gonna skip up the mid lane. Ooh! Hanzo gets the solo kill onto the Phoenix. While the Protector was pushing out into the top lane, Hanzo is able to get some kills, get the solo kill, and the Protector just walking on by, gonna pick up the health fountain, secure that for the team, and then back himself away, gonna finish off. Oh, what in the world? Just a pixel off. My goodness, how did that not go down? It's a game of pixels, ladies and gentlemen. 1 pixel off, and it's a no-go. But Hanzo getting that kill, gets the 10s, and we have 10s online for both teams. It's Dragon Strike by the Hanzo, Isolation by the Tahaka, it's the Archon by Tassadar, Ice Wall by the Mei, and it is the high 5 coming in from the Lucio. Meanwhile, on the red side, it is the Mosh Pit by the ETC. It is going to be that Planet Cracker coming in from the Phoenix, that Dearth of Hate coming in from the Mephisto. We've got the Grav Bomb coming in from the Gazlo, and the Light Bomb, double bomb power coming in. Here goes the Planet Cracker. Mephisto throwing out the Endurance of Hatred. None of it really hitting, but ETC gonna go in and get the Mosh right away, and Lucio's in the wrong zip code, but big old Dragon Strike in return gets the ETC. Charlemagne just trying to secure the kill onto the Mephisto, gets it. May gets the Ice Wall onto the Phoenix down below, but the grab bomb may have saved Phoenix, gets himself away, and it is the 2-for-1 in favor of the side of Knife Party so far. Very back and forth fight. Just when those ultimates didn't collect, I was interested. I was, what's the word I'm looking for? Did not expect for ALR to go back in there. It's like, oh darn, we got the Planet Cracker going down. We missed the Turns of Hatred. All right, we'll just give this one up. But they did. They committed to it. They got the Lucio too pretty quickly. But Hanzo was like, oh, I see what's happening here. Threw down the Dragon Strike, and that Dragon Strike got a ton of value. So far, a turret can't pick up a piece. I think we're even on items so far. Neither team... Oh, no. Hanzo's got a support item, too. So there is one support item going in favor of the Hanzo. And the Siege Camp is being picked up by our blue side. 13s online for both teams. Experience is pretty much even Steven. ETC not gonna go. It's gonna get the extra slow instead of getting the reduced cooldown on the ultimate. Interesting. Not a lot of dive coming out. They do have the dive on the May. But going with the slow that slows over, you know, this 50% slow that slows over 2 seconds, he's not gonna have the Mosh available as much, so they have to be a little more careful. Now, if he had gone Purification Salvo on the Phoenix, I definitely could understand going that talent. Dragon Strike being thrown out by the Hanzo, but everybody getting out of it. So that's the Dragon Strike down. May try to get in, the high five thrown out. So that's a couple ultimate. And big cooldowns being burnt by the side of Knife Party. So ALR, they could look to potentially find their fight here. ETC has his Mosh available, just trying to set it up. Find that good power slide Mosh combination. Gaslow's all the way in the bot lane, so they kind of want him to be up with the team, get that grab bomb before they get that fight going. These two teams just poking each other out. Big fight coming in here over this next objective. ETC is literally riding right up to May, but going, I don't want that target. That's not the one I'm looking for. That was the Durns of Hatred that did miss, and we've got Palm Ball taking a ton of damage in the mid. A big grab bomb coming in, but the Purification Salvo gets interrupted by the Ice Wall. Now we've got the re-engage. ETC right in the middle goes down. Cue Ball trying to get as much damage as he can with the Shade, but will go down as well. Gaslow just trying to take everybody for a ride. Keeping himself alive as long as he can, but it's just going to be Phoenix remaining alive. And Knife Party coming away with a very big win in that team fight. 4 kills to none. Almost the full ace. And now the push has started up in the top lane. Chicken Meow's got to be careful. Shield is gone. Anduin is going to be able to heal. Oh, he did take it. Took the extra healing. Or the shield capacitor regen with the healing. But 16 is not online. We probably... Oh, get the slide. He got the slide onto the May. The knockback, the passive. Can they get the kill onto May here? It would be a big pickup. Throws down the Mosh to secure the kill. Not a bad idea with this Protector being online. You know you're not really going to look for another Mosh. You get the kill. That's really going to put this Protector off kilter, because if the Protector comes too far forward, you can just push on past the Protector and try to kill those outside. Look, I mean, look at Charlemagne. Down to half health already. With the Protector being weak, and it's Lucio inside the Protector as well. Now the Haka jumps in, so if ETC can get a slide, they can just push right on past this Protector. Tell you what, that pick onto May was absolutely critical for ALR. Phoenix getting a little bit low, but Anduin's going to be able to heal him up. And this Protector going to be used more as a defensive Protector, getting fairly low, going to have to back itself off. May is back online, but ultimately not going to be able to get to the fight to make this Protector. It's down to 5%. So what looked to be pretty devastating all of a sudden turned into almost nothing. And ALR defend a protector phase. Knife Party now going to go ahead and pick up their own camps.
To be destroyed like that.
Actually, looks like ALR looking for a potential invade. They're sitting here. They found the Tassadar. Get the slide in. The grab bomb goes down. Look at the combo. It is there, but they burnt it all on the Tassadar. So now we'll see if Knife Party are able to return fire without the ultimates being online. Mephisto goes down. ETC gets pulled in. It's 2 kills to 1 so far in favor of Knife Party. Phoenix has to jump himself away. And Knife Party come away on top of that one, 2-1. It was a good pick onto the Tassadar. I think they just blew too many ultimates. They really wanted that kill. Got the kill, for sure. But once all the ultimates are spent, ooh, Phoenix gets pulled in by Dahaka. Though yeet by the Anduin is in time, saves the Phoenix. And this is going to be a camp steal picked up by the side of Knife Party. Minions are doing some work up on the fort up in the top lane, but like I said, here we are, 18-17, and not a single fort has been picked up. Volskaya Foundry always going to level 20. And we'll see what the Storm Towns. I mean, Mephisto's going to get scary at 20. Gazlo, depending on what ultimate he picks, can get very scary at 20. I anticipate he's going to go for the increased stuns and not for the bigger grav bomb, but we'll see. They've already got the lockdown for the grab bomb. They're more reliant on the ETC than the Gazlo, so I anticipate they're going to use Gazlo more for crowd control than the big grab bomb. Got a little bit of a Bush King set up here. ETC goes in, finds the Mei, but ultimately elects not to pull the trigger there. Just didn't have the team behind him, didn't find the fight he wanted, and said, you know what, I'm thinking better of this, we'll just wait. But 20's right around the corner for the side of Knife Party. Ooh, Dahaka, he already used his burrow. Getting slowed. Bad news for Dahaka. This could be the pick the ALR wanted. They find Charlemagne already used in the burrow, and that means they get the kill. And that is a 60-second death timer because 20 hit right before he got caught. We do have the upgrade to the Archon, the upgrade to Dragon Strike, the upgrade to I-5, the upgrade to Isolation, and the upgrade to Ice Wall. All coming in, so all heroes on the side of Knife Party upgrading their level 10 ultimates. Meanwhile, ALR, they're just waiting to get theirs at this point. They can soak safely knowing that Dahaka's not on the board. They could actually even look to find a really good fight if they were together as 5. But not going to do so. They're going to just soak. The third terminal is online, and this is where Volskaya starts to actually get fun. Now we've got the 20s. Now we've got long death timers. Now we've got a big protector coming in. Things can get really hairy for teams really quickly here. Phoenix actually going to go up to the top lane, try to get some macro pressure going. Gets a couple of minions, gets the 20s for the team. So we've got the 20s. Phoenix getting the upgrade to the Singularity Charge. Death Mosh by ETC. The Shade, the Mimic, being picked up by the Mephisto. It is the Bomb Toss from the Gazelle. That is what I was thinking it was going to be. I just couldn't remember the name instead of the upgraded Grab Bomb. So that is what I was hoping. And then the Inner Fire picked up by the Anduin. And now it's going to be interesting. Charlemagne found the Anduin, but ETC says, no, you leave my Anduin alone. Knocks him back. Primal Zerg cannot hold on to a target with a loudspeaker in his face. And down we go. Big fight coming in here. Turret already dropped preemptively by the side of Knife Party. Charlemagne right in the middle finds the Mephisto. Instead grabs the Phoenix. Hanzo throwing down the Dragon Strike. That's a big Dragon Strike right onto ETC who's moshing, but he's going to play a death song here. Doesn't catch anybody, but the Gazlo bombs continue to spread. A 3-man ice wall. It is 1-for-1 so far. And Mephisto continuing to use the Mimic. Phoenix is back in. Archon Tassadar right in the middle. But so far, it is the 4-for-1. And Phoenix jumped in to try and be the hero. Does he get the Archon? He does. Almost gets knives, but doesn't quite get knives. But this is a protector These are 30-second death timers still. The Protector's probably going to go through, well, it could go through bot lane. It's going to have to chunk through quite a lot, but it will be able to get at least this bottom 4 and probably the bottom keep, since it's ETC that is coming back first. I don't know, we'll watch. But that was, I mean, that was so close. Unfortunate thing was everybody was able to get away from the ETC. ETC knew he was going down there with the Dragon Strike on top of him. And the Death Mosh did not get the value that he was looking for. But ETC is back online. He is going to be able to protect this core with everybody else coming online. So it is going to be the keep, but just the keep. And Mei going to be able to push out the mid lane with Lucio. So one keep down. Definitely nowhere near the end of the world. Actually, the full team is online. Tassadar is not here. Gazlo, ooh, he gets the stun onto Lucio. Mephisto goes out. Power slide comes in. Lucio got caught, and that is going to be a big kill. And Mei uses the passive. Oh, I thought she was going to get Sun sliding into that. Here comes the Purification salvo. But that's all it's going to be able to get. That is a very long cooldown as well. Sorry, not Purification salvo. Planet Cracker. 100-second cooldown out of Phoenix. But that is 50 more seconds that ALR have to color this map red without Lucio being on the field or potentially finding a fight. The Cutie coming in. Need a tour bus versus the Dragon Strike. That would have been actually interesting. Ooh, can he find the Mei here? Get the power slide. Ooh, and a nice knockback. So double there. Knives getting stunned. He puts down the Mosh to secure the kill onto the Mei, but nobody else is focusing on the Mei. They all turned and started fighting the Dahaka. Now Mei is the focus again, and Mei does go down, so they get the stagger. They've got a lot of stuns from the Gazlo bombs. The support item actually being dropped, and ALR get the stagger death they're looking for and want to continue their pressure in this mid lane. Dragon Strike being thrown out again. Mephisto just in the middle of the team. I think he thought he had the shade out, must have been, because he was just kind of walking around in the middle of the enemy team, and he's like, oh shoot, I'm not the shade. I'm not going to go back. I have to run back. But they're able to get a little bit of pressure relief, pick up one of those forts in the mid lane. And now we've got the siege camp being picked up by the side of ALR. Ooh, Phoenix has to be careful. Does he get the teleport? He doesn't, but the re-engage is there. There is no Mei. The turret is immediately dropped. ETC can't quite find the target he's looking for, so that's a big pickup onto the Phoenix there. Mei will be back online. And they can try and siege out this mid lane. Let's see, he's got one turret so far. No turrets. So the item advantage going over to Knife Party. And they're just going to continue to siege out this top lane as 5. Look at that. Charlemagne walks even still faster than people with a 50% slow on him. That's ridiculous. Dahaka speed is insane. It's like Roadrunner, man. But Phoenix coming back online now. Another Punisher coming online. Support camp in 40. Turret camp in minute 10. Another turret camp just coming online. And Knife Party wanting to get as many camps as they can. We'll see if this combo, they gotta land this combo. If they land this combo one last time, they've got this. Ooh, but Charlemagne anticipating the rotation is gonna be sitting far ahead. Ooh, they're coming in hot. They're coming in real hot. They're like ready, set, go. In with the vents they go. And they find Charlemagne, but oh, Mephisto's there, but nobody else is with Charlemagne. He's trying to get the stasis out. ETC has the power slide. Ice wall coming in. Doesn't catch anybody, but ETC is far away. The Dragon Strike coming in. Doesn't catch anybody. Anduin gets the light bomb. Goes in himself. The grab bomb. The combo. They land it. And that is absolutely explosive. 2 kills going in favor of ALR. Holy cow, and they're not done. Phoenix is on the hunt, got the slow. Mephisto gets over, gets the kill onto the Tassadar. It's 3 kills. Hanzo gonna be the 4th. Phoenix is like, aha, I have my revenge. You got that solo kill, I get 1 back. And that is 4 kills to none, and they can just push out mid and bring the Protector in to end it. Gazlo's gotta get with the team. This isn't important. To the mid lane we go. This is where the 3-man is going to go ahead and siege. Gazlo now on his way back. It's like, guys, I'm coming, hold on. The siege is on. They clear all this out as much as they can, and the Protector will just walk in and clear the core. But they're backing off. They're backing off. They want to get support camp. Mephisto's not done. Mephisto's like, guys, I want this. The damage is going down. We've got a revive on the Lucio, revive on the Dahaka. Protector's coming in. It's got 2 members. It's ETC. It's Phoenix. That's okay because Gazlo has a lot of stuns. Gazlo is going back. Oh, okay. But he's got the support item. Ooh, I don't know. They could have ended it here. Will they end it still? The Protector's putting so much damage down the push pass, but the Protector can just run at the core. The Protector's just going to be like, see you guys. You're going to focus on my team. I'm going to go focus on the core. Jumps on it. Look at the shield just melting. Protector's doing what it can. Mephisto and Anduin are now coming in. Gazlo's on his way back, but the Protector is just continuing to siege. 69, 65. They're not going to get this Protector out. Even if they do, Phoenix will finish this off. And ladies and gentlemen, I believe it is safe to say we are going to game number 5 as always. ALR pull it back here in the late game yet again and get a win. Casters, we don't know what we're talking about. We're just like, hey, go mid. Wait, what are you doing? And then they win anyway. It's like, oh, see, they won. They knew what they were doing all along. But man, oh man, ALR coming back strong. They got the combo. Oh my gosh, we were waiting for this combo the entire game. ETC, Phoenix, Mephisto, Gazlo. It was there. And the person who set it all up was Anduin. Light bombs himself and is like, guys, I'm going to set up this combo for you. Walks all the way into the enemy team with a light bomb on himself. And then Gazlo lands the grab bomb. Then the Durance of Hate comes out, and the rest was history. They didn't even use the ETC mosh pit for that one. They got all of that without the mosh. Absolutely insane. But they come back. They come back strong in the late game. I mean, Knife Party, they've been playing so good throughout the early and mid game in all of these games. It's just the small, little, tiny mistakes. Dahaka getting caught in the late game on that last fight, you know, being away from the enemy team. The whole team backs and Dahaka walks out of the bush to try and engage on the Mephisto, and they just turn on the Dahaka. It's small, little, tiny things that are making them end up crumbling. But ultimately, they are able to come away with this and, you know, send us to a game number 5. ALR is able to come away with this and send us to a game number 5. But looking at these stats, 73k from the Hanzo, still putting out just an absolute ton of damage. Hanzo's Dragon Strikes are just on point. Like that was probably one of the best Dragon Strike games he's had this series. It was critical, those Dragon Strikes coming in. Charlemagne almost getting the triple crown. Tassadar putting out 48k. Lucio out healing the Anduin there. Mephisto putting out 66k, started ramping up really in that late game. Gazlo, look at the soak, 27 to 22. Gazlo doing a beast of a job soaking though. But there's the talents. I mean, like I said, we've seen most of these people playing. The only other ones we haven't seen Tassadar yet. Going the static charge to the electric fence, then upgrading the beam alignment, which fits well with the Archon play. This is pretty standard stuff for the Archon play. Gets the Oracle, the extra vision, and the Twilight. Lucio going just for a ton of mobility, ton of just support overall. Gets up the frequency at level 16 to help with the high fives there. ETC, I got to remember to ask this if ALR end up coming to win, why we went face smelt and at 13 when we went planet cracker with the Phoenix at level 10. There's got to be a method to the madness. I don't see it yet, but I'm definitely sure it worked. They won, so pretty standard for Mephisto, pretty standard for Gazlo when he does decide to go into the bomb toss build. So ultimately, pretty standard stuff coming across for both these teams. But I don't even know if I can send us all the way to a commercial. We got 2 maps left. Pulling up my little cheat sheet over here. The 2 maps left are Sky Temple and Dragonshire. Are our 2 maps left. Interesting. And it's going to come down to, you know what? I'm just going to throw it over to the maps real quick before we go through this so you guys can see this. Dragonshire and Sky Temple, the last 2 maps. Sky Temple, more of a macro. When you get ahead, it's more snowball-y than a lot of these other maps that we've played on so far. None of the maps we've played on tonight have really been the snowball-y maps, like Battlefield of Eternity, like Braxis Holdout. Those are the more snowball-y maps. Sky Temple can be that map too. So if Knife's Parties wants to rely upon their strong early mid game and allow that to kind of develop the pressure, kind of like they did in Alterac Pass. They won Alterac Pass by constantly getting structures, and ultimately the macro pressure got to be too much. They would probably flex more towards like a Sky Temple map. Whereas if it's more team fight double soak, like we've seen in the Infernal Shrines and the Volskaya, that seems to be more favorable for ALR. So they would send us to Dragonshire if we're looking at the way these 2 teams have kind of played their series out thus far. So with Knife Party getting the choice between first hero pick or map pick, I'm really curious to see which one they're going to prioritize. And then whoever gets to pick map pick, I'm curious to see if I'm right who's going to get the map. And I just got the invite. I know what map we're going to, but I don't know who picked it yet. We are going to be going game number 5 to Dragonshire, not Sky Temple. So I'm curious if ALR was the one who picked this, since it fits their team style more on how they've been winning these games than Sky Temple. Whereas Sky Temple seems to be fitting Knife Party's wins and their style a little bit more. And so I do have the results. It is going to be ALR that did pick the map. So Knife Party elected to get first hero pick again. So ALR have had the map choice this entire time from game 2 on. And they are sending us to Dragonshire for the final map. So I was right about, which team was going to pick, which map. Well, I have no idea. If, Knife Party wins, I can ask him. If you had to pick map pick between those last 2 maps, which map would you pick? But just based off of how these teams have played and the maps they've done well on and won on, that's kind of what I thought. But we have everybody in the lobby. These teams are ready to go for this game number 5. I'm glad I didn't send it to a commercial this time. But as expected, for some reason, and I have this reputation among all NGS, if I am casting your series, you are probably going to game number 5 in a best of 5. Oh my gosh. Throughout all of Season 11 and all of Season 12, all of my best of 5s have gone to a game number 5. I'm running out of wine. Gonna have to go buy another bottle to get through the rest of this series. This has been an absolutely phenomenal series. I love watching 2 really good teams just battle it out here in a best of 5 series. But throwing it over, looking at chat real quick, getting caught up. Last I left it for was Needed Tour Bus. Wowzers, great game. Freaking ALR. All those come from behind. It's bad for my heart. I'm not even playing it. It's bad for my heart. Like my heart's just like, oh my gosh, what's going on? That was stressful. I missed the first 4 games, but here to root on Charlemagne and team coming in from Miss Windup Bird. Rock your worlds. Game 5. Here we go. Good luck. Have fun, Knives. Got some Knives fans in the house for sure. Going the distance. I hear Charlemagne is a swap god. He hasn't played it yet, but it's there. Ooh, could we see? I hope Crush is here tonight. I think he's asleep by now. But Crush would love to hear that. Every time he comes and raids my channel, he's got one thing he always requests. But we are getting the readies coming out from these two teams. All right, never mind. We are going to have a quick bathroom break from these two teams. So I am going to send us to a small commercial break, ladies and gentlemen. Do not go anywhere. Game 5 is right around the corner. We will be back in about a minute. See you then.
I shall be your shield.
Blessing upon friends!
Hell, it's about damn time.
We are steadfast in the face of peril.
Don't underestimate a Nephilim.
Stormwind honors those who serve.
This is only the beginning of our journey.
My wrath shall not be quenched.
Your deeds bring honor to us all. By steel or fang, we will prevail.
Not even death can save you from me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. We've got the countdown going in. We're going to Dragonshire, and the lobby is being set up right now. We should be getting loaded in any second. So, for the last time in this Division D-Weast matchup, we've got these two teams coming in to battle out here, and I was not made a referee this time. Interesting. All right, well, you get to see all the chat because I'm a spectator now. I got downgraded. But what kind of changes will be made? Dragonshire, kind of fun. Got that off-lane matchup. Brightwing has a lot more value on a map like Dragonshire. We could see the Rexar coming out. If the Hogger does not get banned, we could see that come out as well. I cannot get rid of chat. I'm so sorry. Just going to kind of like, and even if I cover it up with my hand, you can still see it. So it's like, oh, well, enjoy the chat between these two teams. They're talking about their bathrooms because they've been doing this for, what are we at right now? We are at 2 hours and 41 minutes. Dear God. We are going for the long haul here. Hogger being banned out. Sylvanas being banned out. These have been banned out the entire night. Will we see the Asmodan get banned out again? Will we see Rexar picked up and make his first appearance tonight? Will we see Junkrat? Junkrat hasn't been... I think he got banned once. But outside of that one time, I don't think he's been banned all night. And he hasn't been picked up. And I'm like, dude, Junkrat is insane. Junkrat, the Junkrat shenaniganry is just brutal. But we got the Anubrak ban coming in as well. Waiting for that final pick ban coming in from ALR, and it's going to be, ooh, the Hanzo. The respect has been given. War is fun. You're going to have to play a different champion. Hanzo is going to get banned out here. Let Char play Hogger. Love it. Ah, but there he is again. He got banned in game number 4, but he's back. But Knife Party go, you know what? Asmodan tonight has a 100% win rate. We are taking it. And I hate to say this, but I was right. May did have a 100% loss rate, and it continued on that last series. So May has been picked in 4 games and has a 100% loss rate. I expect all teams to stay away from May in this matchup here tonight. In this game number 5. They're like, May is cursed. We're not playing May. Get her the heck away. She has lost all 4 games. And it's not the May's fault. We've seen some amazing avalanches and ice walls coming in. Just the May has a 100% loss rate tonight in 4 games. But it is going to be Murden, Anduin, Palm Ball going back to the Anduin yet again. Amazing play in game number 3. Still pretty dang good in game number 4. I mean, the light bomb on himself to say, here we go, we're winning it, I'm carrying us to a game number 5 was pretty stellar. But Knives picking up the Johanna and Charlemagne going back to the Dahaka. Has he had Dahaka every game? No, he didn't have Dahaka one game. He had a game 1, game 2, and game 4. What did he play game 3? Game 3 was Alterac Pass. What did he have on Alterac Pass? It was Sonya versus... Was it Dahaka? No, Sonya was game 2. I don't remember. I'm mixing up my games. But Lucio and Kael'thas being banned out here. ALR going to pick up their next 2 picks. Need an Assassin, a Flex, and a Bruiser. Can pick up the Bruiser if they want. Going to pick up the Tychus, want the Shred, and going to go with the Mephisto again. So get the Mage and the Assassin. Now, Dragonshire. Dahaka is going to be your lane opponent. Does Conflicted play Malthael? Or does Conflicted play Leoric? Either one. I'm really happy about. Parabolic gets Kharazim yet again. Gonna get that Kharazim going one more time. They didn't like the Lucio play. They thought the Lucio was too much to deal with, and so they saw it. Oh! Genji into Tychus. I love it. Oh, I love Genji. It's going to be interesting. What? Yes! We got a Shen! We have a Shen, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god, this game is going to be mental. We've got a Genji, we've got a Shen, we've got a Kharazim. Oh my god, yes. This is going to be so fun. Game 5 is going to be absolutely insane from these 2 teams. This is going to be so... Oh, Leo. That's who Charlemagne played. Yes, on Cursed Hollow. Leo. He played the Leo. That's right. Thank you. See, somebody's paying attention, not me. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 5, and it is going to be epic. I am so excited for this one. I cannot stress enough how excited I am for this game number 5. We are going to get you into the game lobby. I'm going to say adios for the last time tonight before you see me for closing remarks. I will see you in there. Start getting your hype trains going. Get your support going, because this is for all the marbles, ladies and gentlemen. The chance to go to the grand finals and play against Bunker Fun Time for the Division D title. One of these 2 teams is going to go home the victor. The other, the season ends. Let's get these 2 teams introduced for the last time tonight. On the blue side, we've got Knife Party. We got War is Fun on the Genji. We got Knives on the Johanna Sabine, on the Asmodan Parabolic on that Kharazim, and Charlemagne, on the Dahaka. Meanwhile, on the red side, we've got Almost Legends Ruby. We got Palm Ball on the Anduin, King on the Murden, Cue Ball on the Mephisto, Chicken Meow on the Shen, and we've got Conflicted on the Tychus, and that is a role swap. Chicken Meow was the assassin player of the first 4 games. Conflicted was the offlaner. So Chicken Meow pulling out something from the depths here, saying, I've got this super secret sneaky strat, and you're about to see it. We'll watch that matchup in the top lane here. Let's go Bunker Fun Time. I love it. Oh, Genji trying to get the early health fountain. He's going to continue for it, but he's going to potentially lose his life. He does get it, gets the dash away, but Chen jumps right on top of him. Genji trying to run. Anduin's right there. Palm Ball gets the kill. First blood going over to Anduin. 1-0, ALR coming out big, but they did get the health fountain. So Genji did get what he ultimately wanted, getting that health fountain to prevent Shen from having a little bit of a better time up in the top lane. He's gonna have to go to mid lane or just full recall to get the tap. Murden gonna stack up that Storm Bolt. Didn't go for the Dwarf Toss this time. Johanna going for the Laws of Hope. A lot of stacking quests. It's going to be the Gluttony Asmodan yet again. Mephisto going to go ahead and pick up one Siege Camp. Genji and Kharazim going to pick up the other one. Shrines are active. Shen and Dahaka just dueling out in the top lane right now. I just want to watch this matchup because it looks like it's going to be really fun. Shen getting pulled underneath the tower. Going to go in for it, but backs off. Down into the bot lane. The 4-man. Blue is in control of the shrine so far of this Moon Shrine. But Murden's going to make sure that doesn't happen. Actually, Johanna's still controlling it for the time being. Asmodan up to 28 stacks so far. Kharazim sitting at 34. Genji jumping in onto the Tychus. Tychus having nothing to do with that shenaniganry. Dahaka getting just absolutely attacked in the top lane by the Shen. Gets the tongue, but Shen is able to get the kill in the off lane. So that is going to be second blood going over to Almost Legends Ruby. And they are coming out to play here in game numero 5. Dahaka is going to teleport himself in. Genji coming up for the gank. Shen goes in, jumps himself in, so doesn't have the ability to get away as fast. Going to start running away. The dragon is active. Shen jumps and goes down. Gank is successful. Genji gets the value. And King and Cue Ball just going to try and control this bottom objective. Top flips back over. It is neutral. Anduin and Johanna just walking down Broadway. And now the fight is over this bottom shrine. It's a 3v2 so far. The root goes down, the stun goes down. Asmodan getting crowd controlled. But ultimately, not a lot of kill pressure in the bot lane. Tychus has to recall, go back, get himself healthy again. Shen is back. And it is now a 3v3 here in the bot lane. Asmodan is still the focus. Murder jumps over, gets the stun onto the Asmodan. Genji trying to put the pressure on to keep him off, but Tychus has arrived. Tychus trying to get in, looks for the Genji. Genji's in the middle, has the Swift Strike, but gets the Protect out of the way. Kharazim has arrived as well. Mephisto trying to get himself away. The Shade takes him back to safety. The channel is successful. We got Shen going up against Dahaka. Dahaka getting the better end of this deal now. Gets the tongue. Chicken Meow not able to get away. Trying to sit through it, but doesn't able to. And there goes his barrel. His barrel is just continuing to roll. Look at that. The Shen barrel rolling all the way. That barrel went for a ride. But Parabolic barely surviving on the Kharazim in the bot lane. It is still 1-for-1, but Dahaka and Shen now split the solo kills, one apiece so far. Shen gonna make his merry way back to the top lane, try to get control. It is Knife Party in control of the game with the experience so far, about 3/4 of a level up. Winning the race to 10 thus far. And Shen and Dahaka just back at it again, but Dahaka is suddenly starting to get the better end of these fights. Gets the tongue again. Conflicted coming up. Dahaka has the burrow, but that is it. Isn't able to get away. Gets the knockback, but the minigun has started. Now starts to overkill. Charlemagne's just going to walk himself away. Bruiser Camp picked up by Kharazim. Meanwhile, the Siege Camp picked up on the side of ALR. Asmodan actually goes down and gets the flip onto the Moon Shrine. Murden jumps on, but will the channel be successful? Ooh. Palm Ball comes in, gets the auto attack off, interrupts it. So it will not be channeled. Johanna almost had it secured. We've got a 2v2 in the top lane right now. Shen and Tychus versus Genji and Dahaka. The channel is back in favor of blue, but nobody has the channel so far. Going back down to the bot lane. Not as exciting as the top lane, but the fight has now started. Asmodan going on the shade of Mephisto going in, backs himself off. Shen is in that 1v2 situation, has to back out because Tychus has come bot lane. Tychus is here, starts to melt through this Johanna. The skin is gone. Murden trying to put the damage down to Kerosene, but they are surviving in this bot lane fight. The blue team. 10s are almost online for the side of Knife Party, and they are here. It is the Titus Sin picked up by the Asmodan. It is going to be the 7-sided strike by the Kerosene, the isolation by the Dahaka. It is going to be the X-Cross coming in, or the X-Strike, excuse me, coming in from the Genji. Johanna still holding, waiting. But Dahaka, again, still getting the better end of these fights. And it is the Falling Sword picked up by the Johanna. Meanwhile, 10's just now online for ALR. It is going to be the Avatar picked up by the Murden, the Light Bomb by the Anduin. It is the Odin by the Tychus. It is going to be the Storm Earth Fire coming in from the Shen, transforming into 3 little pandas. And it is going to be the Durance of Hatred by the Mephisto. 7-sided strike getting a lot of value there. That was a ton of damage coming out from the 7-sided strike. Big 3-man condemn with the blind coming in from the Johanna, but that is it. The Asmodan is on cooldown for the Q. The Light Bomb goes out. The catch Kerosene, get the Unstoppable is not enough. The Falling Sword gets Johanna away. It is 1 kill, 2 none so far in favor, but Shen had to back himself away, get healed up. Dahaka is just starting to tear him a new one up here in the top lane. Meanwhile, Tychus continuing to get the clear in the mid lane. The experience is becoming even Steven yet again. Genji's down, wanting to get the flank onto Mephisto. Gets a couple of the Qs out, but has to swift strike himself away. Gerazim is soaking up the mid lane. Johanna coming in for the condemn. Unfortunately, Asmodan does not get the Q. And now the return fire, the Iron Skin is popped. Tychus did activate the minigun. Unfortunately, isn't able to get it off. Did go for the in the rhythm, so is getting the increased duration on that minigun. And man, the sustain coming out of Dahaka is just being too much for Shen to handle right now. Shen has the better damage. Ooh, he's got to be careful. Genji's coming in. Shen trying to back himself away under tower. Gets the Earth, Wind, Fire. Turns around, tries to get back in. But ultimately cannot. Trying to micro all these guys together. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, it is the 7-sided strike thrown out by the Kerosene. It jumps himself away. The 4v3 is available, but they just can't get the kill. They got the 4v3, but unfortunately, they're not able to get the kill. And actually, Asmodan and Kerosene are the ones pushing out here. Johanna's got no fear, just running into the enemy team. Iron Skin popped, going in, gets a 2-man condemn, gets the blinding shield, and Genji is here. They are all very low. Light Bomb going down, stun the Genji. Murden popping the Avatar, has to get himself away. And ultimately is able to do so. Oh, 67 health, barely surviving. But Genji's able to get this Moon Shrine turned back over. And again, Shen going up against it. He's able to heal himself just a little bit. Genji fairly low in this bot lane. The Falling Sword is onto Palm Ball in the back. The Asmodan gets the dunk, so it is 1 kill going over to the side of Knife Party. They are not done. They're looking for more. Stun goes out. Murden able to get himself away. 7-sided strike comes out, but it is not able to get any kills. Everybody low on ALR. It is 3-3 in kills, but a level lead is in favor of the side of all Knife Party, excuse me. And Genji gonna go start the channel. And he's gonna finish it off. The first dragon picked up, level 14. And that dragon is gonna go bot lane. Dahaka is actually able to pick up the tower. It's continuing to fight against the Shen. Shen not done, wants to fight, but Dahaka misses the tongue. Tychus will be able to absolutely shred through this Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight really only able to get the fountain. Ooh, Dahaka did go down. The Storm, Earth, and Fire. Or was it Storm, Earth, Fire? Yeah, Storm, Earth, Fire. Able to get the kill there. So Shen finally able to relieve some of the pressure. And now we see a potential invade coming in here from the side of ALR. It is the 4-man against the 4-man. Shen is rotating in. Siege Camp is being picked up, and it is secured by ALR. Oh, Genji gets rooted out. The Durance of Hatred, does it start to spread? It does catch the Johanna, or not the Johanna, sorry, it's the Kerosene. Seven-sided strike was blown. The Odin is there. Genji jumped in, puts down the X strike in the backline, jumps over the wall. Dahaka coming in. Shen is nowhere to be found, so Dahaka's in is now 5v4, and the retreat is sounded. It is Murden that gets pulled in by the Dahaka. Will he be able to dwarf strike himself to safety? Actually, Tychus is like, you know what? I'm not done. I'm going to put down a lot of damage with this Odin. Although we always have to call it out. Asmodan, stack count up to 310. So Asmodan starting to get a little bit big here in the late game. 16-14 in favor of the side of Knife Party. And they're able, ALR able to get their own camp. Only about a level behind so far, but they're down 16 Talontiers. So they're not gonna look to fight. Actually, they are. Never mind. What do I know? They're going into the bot lane. 7-sided strike thrown out. Asmon and Q. Tychus very low. The 16s are not there, but the Dirts of Hatred is huge. Karazim goes down. Falling Sword in by the Johanna with the Genji, but that is it. The X-Strike goes down, but not able to get enough. The Light Bomb makes sure Johanna does not move. Somehow they win. It was a 15-on-16, but they come away with it, and ALR are pushing in. They have the 5-man in the bottom. They have the Mercenaries, and they're going to continue to siege this up. Anduin is just gonna heal his little behind off. And ALR are right back in this game. 6-3 is the total kill count. Level 16s for both teams.
Red team has destroyed a fort.
But Charlemagne able to get control of the Sunshrine in the top. Rotating down, sees the teams like, you know what, this bush is far enough. Actually gets the pull onto Shen. But Shen's like, I'm not done. The hunt is on. These two guys got a bone to pick with each other. And that is Asmodan finishing off his quest. 13 minutes. Asmodan has all stacks finished. At level 20 will become a very, very scary Asmodan. It's already a scary Asmodan. That was a non-Titus Sin Q. Doing a fourth of Tychus' health. Sabing's going to start putting down a lot of pain. Karazim and Asmodan going to finish off this Bruiser camp. Help Dahaka get a little bit more pressure in the top lane. The 4-man just not going to separate themselves from ALR. They're going to sit together. Meanwhile, Knife Party, they're in control. Actually, it's pretty even at this point. Map pressure, bottom fort for top fort. And bottom is typically the side of the map you do want to push on. But this stacked Asmodan is going to cause a bunch of pain. Look at that. Titus Sin doing almost half of Tychus' health. Did anyone go Desperate Prayer? Where's Anduin? There he is. Oh, went Blessed Recovery. Shen just going to go ahead and go flip. We got the Sunshine going to be flipped on over. And Murden looking to invade. Jumps in way early, but gets the 2-man stun. Anduin falls up. That was a huge combo there. The Light Bomb going down to Murden, but does not connect. So he has to back himself away. That was a big double stun. 2-man Q Stormbolt from Murden. 2-man stun from Anduin. Oh, Shen's in a really rough spot, though. It's going to transform. Murden is here. They turn around on the Genji. Genji's rooted. Genji's stunned. Genji's getting focused, and he gets himself out with the ultimate. Johanna now coming in, but it's in the middle of a bunch of red people. He's got to run away, and she gets away safely. There was a lot of red pandas out there, but oh my gosh, she got stunned out. She's not out of the woods yet, ladies and gentlemen. We do have Dahaka going up to interrupt in the backline. Murden jumping over. We do see Mephisto trying to get the turn, but Asmodan continuing to chase on over in the bot lane. Johanna gets a second Iron Skin in this fight. Dahaka goes top to get the interrupt. Shen jumps in. The stun lands onto Parabolic. Karazim goes down. We've got a potential kill onto the Shen. Genji's trying to finish him off, but isn't able to do so. And it's a 1-0 so far in favor of ALR. The Death Bridge was continuing to be pressed, and that does have to get answered. So a little bit of macro play coming in from the side of Knife Party. Ooh, gotta be very careful there, Tychus. And Asmodan able to get a little structure advantage. So this is very similar to what was going on in game number 1. ALR was winning some of these fights, but every time they won, Knife Party was able to find something else, and Knife Party ended up coming away with the victory in game number 1. Maybe they've just gone back to their game 1 strategy here. and are looking to kind of just snowball this one again. Mephisto actually getting caught out there. Is going to go down a little bit. Got caught in a rotation. So that's a big pickup. That is a 55-second death timer. That is huge. Genji actually getting fairly low as well. Dahaka running through a couple of tower shots. Thinks better of it. Shen able to pick up the bruiser camp. Neither team at their 20 yet, but both teams want to fight when their 20s come online. Man, those Asmodan Qs hurt. 20's now online for the side Knife Party. Asmodan is able to upgrade, and here they go again, fighting down the Storm. Talontiers have no fear on the side of the red team. Able to get the interrupt. They do. 7-sided strike by the Kara team. He did go the upgraded at level 1 talents. Johanna gets the Falling Sword. Upgraded. Ultimate coming in from the Genji. Dahaka going for the Essence Claws. Mephisto still 7 seconds from respawning. 20's not quite online, but they just arrived. Shen just getting into the middle of the team. Rewind by the Murden. Improved Light Bomb by the Anduin. The Mimic coming in from the Mephisto on the increased shade. The upgrade to the Earth, Wind, Fire, the Elemental Conduit coming in from the Shen. And the Tychus upgrading the Bob and Weave. And we have all 5 people. 10 people in the bot lane. Light Bomb going down. He's running in. Finds Parabolic. The Light Bomb is coming down. Tychus getting absolutely shredded in the backline, but gets himself away so far. Shen is able to transform, turns into the Earth, Wind, Fire, so he's just sitting on the Kharazim trying to finish it off. The 7-sided strike going down, but not enough. Dahaka very low. Kharazim somehow getting away, gets the jump away. Johanna getting another ultimate off in the entire fight. And nobody dies. This is in favor of Asmodan. Asmodan likes these fights. Gets a Q going back. And my, oh my. It is just back and forth. Tons of chaos going on for both of these teams here. Slowly creeping up on another 20-minute game from both of these teams. We have hit 3 hours and 5 minutes of casting time. This is an epic series, and what better way to see it end? We've got another fight. Tychus trying to get himself away from the Genji. Genji trying to continue to follow with the Dahaka. Anduin ultimating itself. Again, gets the Genji. The Unstoppable goes off. Johanna trying to finish off the Tychus. Anduin just running for his life, trying to heal through it all, but Tychus eventually goes down. Shen going up against the Dahaka, but doesn't have the ultimate available, so this is Knife Party getting some big kills here. Anduin has to get himself away. Mephisto and Murden have to run. These are long death timers. The good news, if you're an ALR fan, this dragon should not end. There is this Merc camp pushing in the bot lane, making a bot lane push very challenging. It could push through mid lane. Mid lane is hurt, but Tychus should be alive by the time they get to the core. And if they send it bot, Tychus for sure will be alive right when the keep starts to get focused. So, but Knife Party coming away with a big team fight there. Oh no, Mephisto goes down. Big pickup there. I have no idea. That was just a bunch of focus fire, and Knife Party are like, never mind. We may be able to end here. The Mephisto pick was huge. They no longer can shred through this Dragon Knight. And ladies and gentlemen, Knife Party may have done it. Tychus is going to get into the Odin. They're going to see what they can do. Murden going to try and tank through this all. Shen is coming in. The core is starting to fall down to 70%, 50%, 40%. I don't think they can do it. The dragon is healthy, and Knife Party comes away with the Game 5 victory. Holy cow. And just like that, kind of how they won game number 3. It was just back and forth until suddenly it wasn't, and Knife Party just kind of flipped a switch and were able to get this game turned on its head and come away with the win. Holy cow. That was an awesome series, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I had so much fun casting that series. I've got to message our victors here and get us a possible interview. But holy cow. The good news is, Got to throw over the message to see what's going on. But look at the damage. I mean, I'm going to leave it on the stats for a while, and then I'll switch it over to the talents. But that was absolutely insane. What a series. What an absolute amazing series. ALR, I mean, they were back up against it several times this entire series, and they refused to buckle. Hello!
Woo, hello.
Who is right? Hello, congratulations. We've got War is Fun, Hanzo Extraordinaire joining us for the interview. How is the team doing?
The team is doing great. I think a few of them are gonna jump in as well. I'm not
Oh,
sure.
we got a party coming in. We got
Yeah, I got a party coming
Knives, we
in.
got Charlemagne. Who else we got coming in here?
Not sure the Sabing and the Kadir's coming though. Oh, they are.
All right, we got a whole bunch. Sabing and Kadir coming in. We've got the whole gang here. Well, congratulations all on your second marathon. You know, we ran a marathon
Yeah.
last week with on my channel, and now you come over to NGS2 and run a second marathon. You guys just love running these marathons. But yeah,
You're the
I
one
mean,
who does it.
I mean, if you want to go to Game 5, just ask me to cast.
That's it.
But I
That's
mean,
why.
yeah, that's why. You guys are like, damn it, we wanted to win 3-0, but this guy just keeps picking up our casts. Can't get away from him.
Tell you what, you make for good TV though.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
So anyway, let's get started. I mean, ALR, you haven't had a chance to play them really all season. You had to do most of your, practice scouting through just watching replays and stuff like that. Notice that there was just a ton of focus on a Nubrak and Sylvanas from you guys from the get-go. So how did you guys come into this series? What were your guys' plans going up against Almost Legends Ruby?
Well, Nas did most of the
Yeah.
scouting out during the week. We just all got into a big old group message and, kind of just scoped out their main picks. We kind of seen that they went with the Anubrak Sylvanas, like the team that we played last week. So we definitely wanted to make sure that we got rid of that. We didn't want to see any Cocoon and then find ourselves in a 4v5 and then everybody's in our back line. So that was the big bans. For sure.
You may have noticed that we mostly repeated the same bands that we did when we were with you the last time.
Yeah.
And I promise it's not because we were lazy and didn't do as much research. Well, I don't know. It worked against the last team, so we're like, I don't know. I guess it's good not to see them. They're really hard to ban because they've got a few guys that play freaking everybody, So that was the biggest deal there. Like Chicken Meow, he plays literally every hero that exists, so you can't really ban against him. So you're like, all right, well, who do we want to see? Who do we not?
Yeah.
You just try to keep it simple. They don't even play Syl that much, but it's like, I don't know. Like, I guess it's good for that to not be a hassle in case that's a hassle. It was just kind of like a safety blanket, not really something we were necessarily thinking they were going to do. Just like,
Yeah, I mean, it's some of these games, these series, late in the playoff series where you're going up against other divisional rivals who you're like, oh man, we haven't had a ton. It's really hard to figure out who to ban against. Like, do we take away comfort picks? Do we take away, carry picks? How do we do this, kind of deal? But ultimately, came in with a strategy, and the strategy was definitely excess. But going into we'll take it game by game. We'll go into Alterac Pass. I'll try to keep it to like one question a game because I know we're like 1 o'clock on the East Coast again. But Alterac Pass, you guys picked the map, and this is the only map you guys picked the whole night. So what was it about Alterac Pass that you guys were like, I want to go to Alterac Pass, and how did you come away with probably the cleanest victory of the series?
I can actually answer that one. We knew that they didn't play Alterac, and we knew that they also liked a lot of maps that we liked. There's a lot of overlap in what we like and they like, and the only difference was Alterac. So we're like, all right, well, if we're going to force them, let's force that. And then we'll go from there. So that's basically it.
All right, so a little bit of the research was able to identify that they didn't play it, or at least you didn't think they played it as much, and so you're like, hey, maybe we can get on a map that we're comfortable on, get the early 1-0. Which definitely was the thing. Now I gotta ask, and we can see if Sabian comes, chimes in a little bit. Did you guys expect that Asmodan was gonna be like the hero of the series?
We definitely expected Asmo to be the hero of the series, at least the most contested hero. We saw they played it a lot. They like to split push, kind of ignore some objectives. So we definitely knew we wanted it. They kind of had better map picks on it, where we were forced to group more, and we do a terrible job of grouping around Karazim. So we kind of got dunked on more than I was able to dunk on them until the last game.
Right. It was. I mean, I wish I could do all this research on the teams before we start, but I just come into it, and it always feels like there's like this penultimate champion of a series. And for this series, it was Asmodan. Comes away. I think it was 100% win rate. Both teams ran it twice. Both teams. Was it both teams ran it twice? Yeah, I think both teams ran it twice, and both teams got 100% win rate on Asmo. And then he got banned in that one game.
Yeah. And they don't even play him that much, but when they do play him, it's really effective. So that was mostly what that was. Just when they had something really effective, we were just trying to deny that.
Yeah, it was.
Nerf
Like you said.
Asmodan.
Nerf Asmodan. Yeah, I mean the Asmodan play was absolutely critical. But coming in, we get to game one. You guys get the victory. Game two, ALR gets map pick, and they run map pick the rest of the series here. Send you on over to Infernal Shrines, and Infernal Shrines seem to be going. I mean, as hot as you guys got at the end of game one, you guys came out on fire in game number two, getting all of the camps. You were able to, I think, get the first the triangle of camps in the bot lane, all three of them twice in a row, like just absolutely steaming. And then all of a sudden things kind of just started to stop and then start going the other direction. So what did you guys feel was like the game changing moments of that game two, and how it ultimately kind of just derailed?
Well, as a healer, I can tell you it was Asmodan. Again, once he started chunking us, I couldn't heal fast enough to keep up with it, and there's nothing for me to punch. So I just got screwed. I should have gone Palm in game two and Shield, but I didn't because I totally was blindsided by how powerful the dunk is.
Yeah, the dunk, and I mean, we got to give it over. I think that was the game I remember where I was just blown away. I think he put out like 127,000 healing on Karazim, and my mind was like, "Holy crap!" Like that is a ton of healing on Karazim. But I think that's more in reflection of the Asmodan just constantly throwing out half health chunked Qs into your guys' face, and you're just like, God, I got to heal all this up again.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So pivoting away from game two, go to game three. They pick the map and they send you guys to Cursed Hollow, which is very similar to Alterac Pass. So were you guys surprised that they were going to send you guys to Cursed Hollow, or did you expect them to send you guys to Cursed Hollow?
Nah, we knew. We knew because we knew that was one of their favorite maps.
Okay.
And so we knew it was coming up. We like it too. I think everybody likes Cursed Hollow. It's fun. It's got that spooky vibe. It's Halloween. It fits the season. So we
Yeah.
knew that was going to come up.
Yeah,
So.
the spooky Cursed Hollow map. But that game, I mean, that was, if I could think back to it, that's probably the most back and forth map that was the most back and forth map of the series. Whereas game one seemed to be like the most definitive one-sided. Game three, it was like each team got a curse, each team got a defensive curse, bosses were traded, invades were happening. But I ultimately have to think that the biggest play that came out to me in that game number three was top boss. It was a 2-2 trade. Asmodan says, you know what? I'm going to go pick up the siege camp. And it was Johanna and I believe Leoric decided to stay and contest the boss pickup that was being done by ALR. And you did it. So who made the call, and how did you guys figure that out through comms and eventually come away with the boss pickup?
Oh man, that was a whole bunch of yelling if I remember correctly.
That was your go now, go now.
Yeah, it was go now, that was me telling Knives to get in there and pop trait and get on the point, and just hoping that, Leoric could put some slows on them, and then they got a good pull, and then Asmodan just laid down just a massive bomb on them. So once we saw that, I had a feeling we were good to go for that boss steal. Yeah, that was big right there. I think that's really what put everything in our favor that match.
Yeah, I mean that there's so many fights that stick out, and I mean it's hard to remember them all. But for Cursed Hollow, that's the one that I'm like, oh my god, I remember. That was just gutsy to all hell, especially because you guys, it was the Johanna and Leoric were fighting it while Asmodan was back doing the siege camp. He went. I didn't know if it was like a, there's just a split in communication, or if Asmodan's like, no, this is a part of the plan. I'm going to get the siege camp, then I'm going to come back while they delay and then top them off. But ultimately gets the kill, and I think, like you said, that was like the momentum shift. You guys get a big win in game 3.
If I'm not
Switching.
mistaken, we saw somebody else. We saw somebody on the map. They weren't on the boss anymore, and then Knives rotated
think it
back around
was.
to the boss, and then saw that they
Yeah.
were still doing boss. So that's when we were like, okay, we'll go back in. Let's see what we can do here.
Yeah, I was
'Cause I
flashing. I
think,
was trying to get them to reset, but they weren't resetting
yeah,
completely. But I
I
was trying to
seriously
drag
had a
it out long
feeling.
enough for the team to come in, but they were just chunking that boss. So I was like, well, I don't want to run in just as they already took it. And then when it popped in, it was like, oh no, there's still life on the boss. And so we're trying to
Yeah, no, I could
kill it
be
fast.
wrong, but I think we saw somebody on the map that
It
wasn't near the
was
boss.
Anduin
Yeah.
bot lane, I think,
I,
during that,
I think
and we
Anduin went
just
for the
went.
curse. I think because there's a curse and a
Yeah.
boss active. I think Anduin went for the curse while that was. I can't. Now that you guys are saying it, I'm like, yeah, I think I remember, but I honestly don't. This is it all molds together. It's just this marathon of a series. Like, oh my gosh. But and then we go. So you guys get the 2-1. It's like match point again. Map goes over to ALR. They send you to Volskaya, and it was all knife party on Volskaya until again suddenly it wasn't. So what happened in that game number 4? Where did you feel like if you could change one thing in Volskaya to turn that around and make it like a definitive stamp, we won the series right here, what would it be?
I can answer that. We got flanked on that last objective, and I didn't know where to position myself as Lucio. So I got caught with the really good ETC ult and the Phoenix ult, and they just bursted me down immediately. Otherwise, we would have won that hands down. But I just got caught. I put myself in a bad position.
Yeah, I mean the flank, Caster has the advantage of watching everybody and seeing it happen. The ballsy call for them to just rotate all the way down and then come like, Speedy Gonzalez through the treadmill or the whatever you want to call it kind of deal, the thing to get that speed boost into the objective and then just come in, guns blazing. Definitely seemed to catch everybody off guard. Everybody kind of scattered for a second, and they used that chaos to kind of get the kills that they needed. And so then we come down to it. We come down to Pentultimate game number 5, Dragonshire Braxis, or sorry, no, Dragonshire Sky Temple. Did you guys, if you guys had to pick, which one would you have gone to?
Well, Knives probably would have went to Sky Temple. I wanted Dragonshire. I don't know what the rest of these guys wanted.
I feel a bit more comfortable on Dragonshire too.
All right, so it
Definitely
seems like
Dragon.
the team consensus. I was curious if it was, I was like doing all this trying to analyze. I'm like, we're in game 5. There's 2 maps left. Team stuff. I was like, man, the bigger maps you guys seem to be doing really, really well on. The maps where it's like you get a lead, you take the lead, you just snowball the lead, and that's very, very Sky Temple. So I was like, I was really curious if you guys were going to send us a Sky Temple for that game 5. But ultimately, we go to Dragonshire, and the comps that come out is just like it seemed like super consistent through the first 4 games, everybody using the same heroes. Then all of a sudden we get to game 5 and everybody wants to play something different. We get a Genji coming in, we get a Shen coming in, we get, Mephisto coming in yet again. It was a second game kind of deal, but Parabolic gets back on his Kharazim. I mean, when you saw this draft work out, what was going through your guys' mind like this is how we're going to win game number 5?
My pick was just a feel good pick, because I really didn't feel anything like going with anything else. I didn't want to go with Zul'jin and then Murden come in the back and then punch me in the face and then Mephisto just tears me down with all that that spell damage. Especially if they got the Anduin with the light bomb, then I'm just just really just pretty much out of it. So I was debating either the Zul'jin or the Genji, but the Genji was just I just felt confident with him, you know what I'm saying? And then that helped. I was able to rotate up top, go mid, just kind of be anywhere, just be a pest and not really, they didn't really know where I was at for the match. So that was the reason I picked Genji, honestly.
Did you expect the Shen matchup? I mean, and this
No.
might be a question for Charles, but in the Dahaka and the off lane, it seemed I spent a lot of time watching that because I was really curious how this match was going to go, and it seemed like Shen got that early kill, but then after that, it was all Dahaka up until pretty much the teams just started fighting, 5v5 kind of deal. So how did you kind of just plan for that, just quirky pick? I mean, if you didn't expect the Shen, what did you guys plan on how to handle that?
So against the Shen, I was really nervous because I don't think or in order to win that trade, I have to land the drag, and I wasn't very confident with the consistency of my drag strikes, at least until after I got the CDR for it. Definitely getting the well early on in that engagement helped me like just use my Z as like a full tap instead, rather than using it as mobility early-wise. But
Mm.
that definitely gave me an edge in the lane at least until 7. Then I think from there engagements were pretty close and pretty at least favorable in one side slightly.
Hmm. Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
It
he's a really
was.
good Chen player. He's actually a Chen main that's doing a different job. So when they popped that on, it was like, all right, we're in for a tough one because he's good at him.
Yeah, I mean just seeing, and it was like it wasn't like a let's talk about this Shen. It was a they get the last pick and just instantly locked. I'm going Shen. I was like, oh boy, all right, we got the ace up ace in the hole, card up the sleeve kind of deal coming out here, and it's the chicken meow on the Shen. So, I mean, my last question going into that game 5, um, with the push in the bot lane, when you guys get the dragon, you get the kill. Was the call always we're gonna end here, or was it no, we're just gonna do as much as we can, and then you got the kill on Mephisto, and then it was the core call?
Definitely the latter one there. As soon as we got the Mephisto, we thought it was pretty safe to end there.
Yeah, whenever the flick kill, yeah, once we killed him, we felt really good about finishing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was curious if it was always going to be like, yeah, we're ending here like 100%, or if it was like, no, we're just going to pressure. We're going to get as much as we can, but we don't think we can end because they're going to be respawning. And then all of a sudden, you guys get the kill, and you're like, oh wait, no, we're going in.
It
we were
was
definitely
definitely
looking for it, but yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't sure until Mephisto went down.
Yeah, it wasn't 100% like we're ending here. Just go for it. We do what we can. All right, and that
And
was more the curiosity.
Mephisto had been lighting us up all game and really all series, so I don't think he made a terrible call. It was just, late game. Everybody gets really strong. We were able to hit a lot of ults on him.
Yeah, I mean it was kind of just like this unfortunate like, oh man, you're watching it go back and forth kind of deal, and then it was just like all of a sudden, and that kind of happened in game number 3 where it was like very even for the most
Totally.
part. And then all of a sudden, like I think it was in the span of like a minute and 20 seconds, it went from both teams have 3 keeps to suddenly one team has no keeps, and you guys are just like snowballing your way to a victory. And that's kind of how it felt like game 5 ended as well. But
Yeah.
going into last things, I gotta ask, going throughout this whole thing, what do you guys, how much research have you guys been able to do on Bunker Fun Time? Because now you're going into the grand finals, which I'm super excited about. How are you guys doing on your research on Bunker Fun Time, and what are you guys looking forward to in that matchup?
For the sake of simplicity, I hope they play a lot of Anubarak and Syl and Kale, and then we can just do that again, and I don't have to do any research. So that's the hope.
I
That's
love
the
it.
hope. Hopefully, it's all very simple. So
Second
no,
and
we
third
haven't
job
started
is just
yet,
doing research.
but they got a good name. We'll do some research over the weekend, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All
it's
right.
probably going to be just like these last couple really good teams. It's going to be close, and we're just going to be a drag out fight.
All right, so I'm going to go through the list here. I got 5 of you in here. I'm going to ask each one of you individual. We'll go from top to bottom. I know you guys got different names than you got in Heroes in your Discord name. So I'm just going to go through my list that I got in Heroes. If you had to pick an MVP for your team for the series, one name, who would it be? I'll start with War. Who do you think your team MVP was?
I'm giving it to Charlemagne.
All
Good
right,
solo lane tonight.
Charlemagne, who are you giving it to?
I think it's a tough one. I think saving for his amazing dunks for game 3 and game 1.
All right, Knives, who are you giving it to?
I thought Charles generally played a no mistakes game, so I'd have to lean that way. But I also thought that everybody did good. Everybody did good. But yeah, the little tip of the spear I'd give to Charles.
Para, who
For
are you
sure.
giving it to?
I would like to take this opportunity to thank the one and only true God, our Lord and Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Thank you.
MVP.
Jesus MVP.
All right. The monk praising Jesus. Gotta love it. And Sabine, who are you gonna give it to? Sabine.
I really thought he was gonna say Lord of Sin at the end there, but I'm gonna give it to Charlemagne. I thought he held down the off lane really well, that we didn't have to worry too much about it.
All right, that's 3 vote Charles, 1 vote Jesus. Absolutely, absolutely love it. And then 1 vote Spinning as well, coming in from Charles as well. Love the shout out. So last things last, I'm gonna open it up to you guys. Anybody can give shout outs as you want. The floor is yours. Any shout outs you'd like to give to Twitch, now's the time.
I would just once again say big thanks to Marbuckle who coaches us. She's on Baby Makers for telling us to stop trying to ARAM it down the middle as a 5-man and just actually play the map. It's taken an entire season, but we're slowly listening to her more and more. So it's helped a lot. Helped a lot. We wouldn't have gotten here for sure if she wasn't in our corner helping us out, telling us how we screwed up our games.
Ditto.
So
Ditto.
yeah, big time. Super nice person.
Thanks, Marbles.
All
Charles,
right.
your sponsor? Charles, your sponsor?
Raid Shadow Lich.
In Skillshare.
All right, gents. Thank you so much for joining me in this interview. I'm gonna cut it off because we're again at another 3.5 hour cast. So I'm gonna take this moment to say congratulations again on your Division D,
Oh yeah,
Weast as we
also
call it.
sorry, I also got to say thanks, just in case we lose the next round and can't do this again. Thanks to Elbog and Curious who were clutch for us throughout the regular season and everything else, and it took a whole team effort in order to get this far. So everybody did a good job this whole way through. Thanks a lot.
And a thank you to Almost Legends Ruby. It was a really good game.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, they're really fun
Battle.
to play. They're really good and like patient. Them and what was that other team? Team Blastoff, Maximum
Momentum.
Thrust.
I think it was
They-
Was it
Momentum.
Maximum thrust.
Maximum
Oh,
Thrust.
it's
Yeah,
stuff.
they're both like really good, like really smart teams. Like if you play against them a lot, you'll get better. So there you go. It's kind of true.
The team blast off. I like that. All right, I'm gonna close it out. Thank you again for joining for the interview. Congratulations again. I look forward to your guys' matchup against Bunker Fun Time for the Division D Grand Championship. Finally making it all the way to the Grand Championship. We're here to the final stretch. Hopefully, not necessarily another marathon, but I wouldn't put anything out of it. Put anything out there. But thank you for joining me. And congratulations again.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks so much for
Have a good night.
casting us.
Yeah,
Peace.
thanks. Appreciate it.
Yep. Take care, guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for me tonight. That was an excellent marathon. I literally just had my last sip. My glass is empty on that final one. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. This is my third best of 5 in like 6 days. That is absolutely I gotta go like do something, pray to somebody, maybe to Jesus Christ, that parabolic was talking about, to get these best of 5s that go all the way to game 5 off my back, because I love it. It's super fun. It is a blast, but man, it is taxing. It is exhausting, but absolutely enjoyable. Congratulations again to Knife Party on their 3-2 victory. It was so fun. Almost Legends Ruby. I mean, just it was awesome watching those guys just duke it out. They were so good in a lot of those late game team fights, pulling it back here and making sure that we could almost get them to go to the grand finals. But for tonight, if you enjoyed yourself, you had a lot of fun, again, down here in the corner over here. That's where my handle. That's where you can follow me over at twitch.tv/isx02. Head on over there, drop a follow if you ever want to see me cast. I'm cast a lot of NGS action. It's a ton of fun over on that channel. We have a good time. Can definitely be a little more loose than we were tonight. But we do have quite a bit of fun over there. If you enjoyed yourself and you appreciate all the time, go ahead and drop a sub or anything like that. Then you don't get those stupid, annoying ads that come at you, kind of deal. I totally understand the frustration with those. But for tonight, that is it for me. I do not know if I'm going to be able to get another cast in here. I wanted to get one more in. I thought this was the grand finals. I got my grand finals that I'm prepping for with my team, so we got a lot of practice coming up. So I'll try to get hopefully maybe one more cast in this season, but if not, this NGS season 12 has been an absolute blast. I've had so much fun casting throughout this entire season, watching a lot of these teams, tack it on and make their run here in the late game. It's been a lot of fun casting heroes, and I'll be back for season 13. So I'm looking forward to season 13 starting up in the early winter, coming up here in like January, February. But for tonight, that is it for me. Have a fantastic night, everyone. Thank you so much for staying up this entire ride. We had a lot of fun, and I will see you again next time. Take care and have a wonderful night, everybody.